Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I actually streamed, but today we have something new. Today we're going to be talking about E3, about expectations and predictions we have, but also we're going to be talking a bit about Biomutant. Now, my guests today actually know a bit more about that game than I do, so I'm going to start from the left. The first person that joins us today is Click for Gameplay. Welcome. Wait, Can you do that again, please? Didn't catch
Oh,
the
sorry. Can you
Yeah,
hear me now?
yeah, yeah.
Like I said, yo, what's up, guys? And thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for coming. Next name is Baldard. Welcome.
Welcome, guys, and thank you for inviting LastKnownMeal.
Thank you for coming, man. And last but not the least, Super Ryan. Welcome.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, how is everyone doing in chat, and how are you guys doing? How was your week?
Uh, I guess you're gonna start with me because I'm the closest to you on the on the
Yeah,
picture.
sure.
Okay. My week is great in terms of gaming stuff, right? I had a lot of I don't want to say work, right? Because I enjoy what I'm doing. I was really busy with Biomutant and the review for that game, so that's obviously the most hot topic in RPG genre right now. Although it's kind of cooling off now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since it was released. But yeah, I was playing that game like crazy, and I actually wanted to make some more content about it, but I couldn't manage to do it. So I'm actually really satisfied with the review I did. So that's kind of it, I guess.
Yeah. Baldard?
It's my turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the week was crazy, bro. Every day was crazy because I have a little bit problems with my time because of my primary job and stuff. But every free time I have, I'm on in World of Warcraft. Definitely, I am playing TVC. That's my stuff. So
Oh yeah,
not
I forgot
not
about
playing
that. I'm
Biomutant
playing with
because I got some, I don't know, bad experience. I had a lot. I had a lot of expectations with that game, and I was kind of disappointed. So I quit playing the game, and I decided not to make review. But I'm in TBC, and my free time was is great, definitely.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna also talk about Biomutant further. And Super Ryan, how was your week?
Yeah, it was good. I played what was it? Biomutant last week? Why does it feel like it was like last week? Yeah, no, I played Biomutant obviously, but since then after I kind of like played it and beat it, I'm still playing like Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I just got to Mass Effect 3.
Ooh,
And that's been
nice.
pretty awesome to go back to. Um Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've been doing. Just been working on some other videos in the meantime while I'll be doing
Nice.
that.
Yeah, everyone. So before we continue, you have all the links down below so you can check out each and every single one of these creators, and I'm sure you're all gonna find something fun to watch and to learn,
I
especially
hope so.
about RPG games. Yeah. So um, hopefully, yes, we are good with audio. But yeah, the first thing I want to just get out of the way is kind of the impressions that we have about Biomutant. Obviously, you have more because I didn't actually play the game yet. From the gameplay I'd seen and from some of the reviews, I was like pretty sure I'm gonna wait for it to be like $30 or something because I think that's
Definitely, the
that's a good
price
price.
is
Yeah,
the
that's
biggest problem.
yeah, yeah. Think so. So what do you think?
Oh,
Like,
here we go. Here we go. Well, if you ask me, actually, one of the first part of my review was about the price. Before
oh
I
yeah,
even started talking about the game, I said right away that the game is definitely not worth $60 because I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous to price it that
It's
way.
hard to
And
play.
yeah, yeah.
Some,
Anyway,
I was like, oh, is everyone okay?
yeah, I said like it's definitely not worth the price because I think THQ Nordic if THQ Nordic was responsible for the price because the publishers are kind of have, if not all, if not high impact on the price, they have at least parts of it, right? And I
yeah,
think they used the opportunity to increase the price. I think it should originally be $40 or something. and they kind of used the hype because there was a lot of hype around Biomutants. Not maybe huge hype, but definitely hype ever since it was released. Ever since the first trailer released, even in 2017, the first trailer gained like 3 million views or something like that.
Oh yeah. Obviously, whenever you have a game which kind of blows up, publisher is gonna do everything to try and like sell it as much as they can. Obviously, like
Yep.
they're gonna increase the budget for marketing and everything. And if sometimes, and we've seen that happen sadly, if development doesn't follow up, and expectations are kind of destroyed, and that creates problems.
Yeah, the main thing I said about Reprise, I think the game doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
AAA game. Like, right, there's a lot of problems with the game, but despite all of that, I think the game is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the game is definitely the game is good, but it has some issues and lacks. But the price is the biggest problem, definitely. The
Yeah.
first and biggest problem, and it doesn't worth $60.
But Ryan doesn't agree, and tell us why, Ryan.
No,
Okay, have money.
no. Here's the thing. I don't approach the game as if like that the price is wrong. Like that's the price that they put it at, so that's the price that I reviewed it at. Whatever. But I also just kind of felt, I don't want to say underwhelmed. I want to say a little underwhelmed. Like I try to be. One thing I probably would have done different in my review of it is probably just say that but I would have probably made it a little more clear that I did actually enjoy the game and actually is pretty fun, like in a lot of ways. And I think I could see and I do see it. Like you see a lot of people saying like, oh, this game's a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun. That's not even the issue. I think there's just like a lot of like aspects of it that are just very like underwhelming. There's a lot of repetitiveness to the quests. The lack of like a lock-on system just like makes the game like feel kind of loose, and it's like the sounds and everything, like the audio is probably a big thing too. It just doesn't have that weight to it that you kind of want, and that oomph. It was just like a weird way to describe it, but yeah, it's like doesn't have that oomph to it. Just like overall, it just like needed a lot of tightening up, and then like I said, just repetitive questing also is just like also severely like hurts the game. I mean, I can go on and on about some of the things that I think would have done differently.
Yeah.
But I don't look at the price as like, oh, this is a AAA price. Like I just think that's the price that they put it at, so that's kind of like you reap what you sow. That's what it's gonna get reviewed at least, how I look at it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I don't know if that explains like my position enough, but yeah.
I understand
So.
you definitely. I don't know, but I waited for this game for about 4 years, and I had some picture in my head. It's my fault, definitely, but I had some picture about Biomutant, and when the game came out, it's not what I expected to be. So definitely, it's not my type of game, and I don't say it's bad. On the contrary, the game is really good, and you can have a lot of fun by playing. But I will skip the commentary about the gameplay and everything, because I didn't finish the game and I will not.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
next one.
Damn.
Well, yeah. Something I was telling LastKnownMeal like right before we started is like, in retrospect, looking back on everything they showed, like they didn't lie about the game, and what they showed is like pretty much what the game is.
Yeah,
It's just
pretty
like
much,
it's
yeah.
one of those games that like looks so much better like in the trailers and like what they shown than like
felt
when you
so
actually
much
play
better.
it. It looks so much better like when you watch it than when you play it. When you
Yeah.
play it, you're like, oh no, this is kind of falling apart. But
Yeah,
that being
when you watch the trailer, it felt different.
Yeah.
It felt different. And when I started the game, I was like, "This is not what I watched."
Yeah, so like
This-
so they definitely, there was no like lie about, like they didn't lie about anything. Like this is just what the game is, and like I said, it's not a bad game at all. I just think it just
The game
needed.
was overhyped.
There was actually a lot of stuff that was cut out from the game, and I'm going to guess that's because of the lack of development time. And you can see a lot of stuff that's not in the game in the old trailers. Like there is a that flying boat or something in one trailer that
It's
you
in
can
there.
control. Really?
Yeah, I got it.
I-
What are you talking about?
Really?
The
Oh, okay,
barge
okay.
thing?
Sorry. Okay, that's my fault. Actually, I
No,
couldn't
no, no.
find
I'm
it,
just.
man.
I
You
thought it
contr-
was part of the story, unless I'm mistaken. But
No,
I
No,
could
I
be. I
found
could
the
be
boat.
wrong.
I found the flying boat, but you
Wait, what?
cannot travel with that boat.
No, well, that's a thing actually. Going into that, that's probably part of the issue that there is like a lot of those vehicles you can only use them in like one section of the map, and it's like, why? You know, like there's
Yeah,
no
there
real
were
reason that
s-
the game gives. Like the mech, maybe you can be like, oh well, maybe they didn't, because it almost feels like they built that area just for that vehicle, which kind of feels like gimmicky in a way.
Mm.
Which, like the jet ski, obviously it makes sense. Like you can only go on water. That's like totally fine. But then there's parts where like you can't like use the barge, like the boat thing to like fly around all the areas. It's only like one specific area you can use it in. And it felt very limiting in that way, and I don't know
Yeah, and I
why.
and I thought there will be some kind of challenge to get some mounts, and it's really easy to get mounts in the game. There is no satisfaction in searching and finding new mounts.
Yeah, and honestly, they all perform the same anyway. Same
Yeah,
speed, same like feel.
so
that
you don't
goes.
need to tame the beast to get the mount. You only need to
Well, you can do
pick
that
that.
too, I think.
What?
You can do that, but I think it's like a very like, oh, just give them like this piece of fruit or
Yeah,
something, and then
that's not the way I thought it would be.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we can touch basically on like what the gaming industry today is and how sometimes games will just come out and just expectations won't be met. Before that, we had a problem with Cyberpunk. Now we have a problem with Biomutant, and sometimes I believe like marketing can really hurt a game because it sets like wrong expectations. And I mean, people like what they see in a trailer, they'll assume like the game is gonna play like that, like the whole experience is gonna be as fun, for example, as they had seen in that trailer or whatever. So basically, I really think that marketing needs to have a much more how they say correlation with the
Grounded
development.
approach, maybe. Or
Yeah,
something.
Restraint, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's because, for example, Valheim is a perfect example. That game came out of nowhere. I saw the trailer and it's like, okay, it's a low budget trailer. I get it. So it
Scuffed
wasn't.
Minecraft.
Yeah. But then I go into a game and it's like, okay, you have this, you have that. Like, obviously, there's so many mechanics they put in, which are not even present in the trailer. So it's like you get more than you expect. And the
Yeah,
problem
the
could,
game
yeah,
was totally the biggest surprise in the time.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, they definitely need to like curb down the marketing a little bit because they
Yeah,
have
just
all of these.
restraint, I think. Like have
They're
some
trying
restraint.
to rise the hype.
Yeah.
They're trying to rise the hype.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I think we talked about it last stream we all did together, where like that one Cyberpunk trailer that just spoiled like a major plot point, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh
what
my
do you?
God.
Why? And it's funny too. I was saying I watched this video where I forget the name, but it was someone's channel where they just like react to stuff. I guess they were reacting to like an old Mass Effect trailer from like 2007, and like it's so funny because they spoil like a major plot point in that trailer, and I'm like, what the hell?
Why, dude? Why?
I don't know. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
But yeah,
it can happen. But yeah, obviously they need to handle that. But yeah, regarding Biomutant, we'll see how they're gonna go update the game, and I'll wait and I'll just play it after it's on sale because I mean it looks interesting. I don't expect much from it, but at least some mindless action a little bit.
I
So
definitely will be. Yeah, I definitely would be interested in like updates, and like I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on like mods, and if there's extra content released from Experiment 101, I'll definitely be down to like try it out and play it. So I'm
yeah,
not like that burned on the game where I'm not gonna keep playing it if more stuff comes.
yeah.
It has an amazing potential, I think, and if they keep patching and updating and adding more content, or at least try to polish the stuff that's already in the game, I think it can actually be an amazing game. So that was one of my biggest problems with the game, because it's brimming with potential.
Yeah, true, true. Oh, by the way, we have some background noise. I don't know where that is coming from. By the way, I can hear myself twice, or I
Is
can
that
hear
me?
the. Not
Wait,
sure.
probably me. Why? Probably because you're on speakers. Wait.
You,
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
you can use
wait a second.
push to speak, man. I'm using push to speak, so you can switch to push to speak as well, Baldard.
Or speak to
I
push?
will. I will put my headphones. Wait.
But yeah, we'll see what the future is going to bring. But talking about the future, we're so close to E3, and it feels nice because I mean I'm not really excited about E3 because it's gonna be a lot of CGI trailers, and it's like it's not gonna
Yeah.
show actual gameplay, and that's like something they have to change. Like show gameplay. Like yeah, I understand CGI stuff is cool, it's marketing, but gameplay is what matters. But yeah,
I totally agree.
yeah. So on the 5th, right now, I don't know, obviously this is not a part of E3, but it's kind of a part of this whole like show cycle, which is about to begin. We had Guerrilla Collective Indie Show, and the actual Summer Game Fest is starting on the 10th, so that's kind of like kick off everything regarding, I guess, the industry. So what do you guys think about this year's E3? Are you excited? Before we move on into
Uh,
like specific shows.
I don't know. The thing is, like, maybe it's probably just me. I don't know if I ever get like. I feel like I'll be excited when I guess we see stuff. I don't
Yeah.
really know if I get that pre-show hype that other people get. Um, because especially like one of the, obviously we'll talk about in a little bit, one of the big like expected announcements slash like game, or I guess shows will be the Microsoft Bethesda one, and we're expected them to show off like Starfield. Like when I see it, I'll know if I should be excited for it, because I feel like I need to see these games before I can start like really getting excited. I don't know if I get that pre-show hype, so
Yeah.
Sorry.
that's just me.
Yeah, like Ryan said, that's exactly my thoughts. I not really excited. I wouldn't say at all, right? Because maybe, like we said before the show started, right? I asked about Capcom and their show, and I'm really hoping that we're going to see at least some piece of information about Dragon's Dogma 2, but that's highly unlikely because yeah.
Well, I don't
And
know. I don't know, man. We'll see.
yeah, it could happen, and I don't know, I'm obviously excited about Starfield and the next Elder Scrolls, but that's like 0.1 chance for happening. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to see some new information about Skull and Bones, but there will no be new information in this E3. Definitely, they announced that.
What happened with
N-
that? Like, is that cancelled? Is that
No, it's delayed again. I think it's
Jeez.
delayed again.
That's Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that, like just release that because at first when I saw like Skull and Bones, it's like it looked good. It looked like a more, I don't know, gritty version of Sea of Thieves, if you ask me. So it's like
I don't
Isn't it?
know. To me it looks like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but only with boats.
the Ubisoft formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh
mean,
boy. Yeah. They
that's
they
Ubisoft.
they definitely they have a type. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it was so
Yeah.
funny actually looking at the transition when they actually started doing that. It was like I don't know when was the first time. I think with Far Cry 3 they kind of changed the formula because Far Cry 2 didn't really perform like that, and then Assassin's Creed was kind of moving in that direction. Then Tom Clancy Division moved into that direction, and it was like, okay,
That was the time when people started noticing the pattern for
yeah,
tower gameplay from Ubisoft games. Like you have to discover this part of the map in Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry is the
Ye-
same.
Yeah, I think it's the best way. I think so. I've heard it described as like it's almost like the checklist open world. It's like
Mm.
just they give you just like a checklist of things to do. So it's like just like, keep giving you like all these tasks, and you're like, okay, cool, thanks.
Bro, if something works, don't change it.
Oh, yeah, but
That's
you
true,
say
I
that,
guess.
but it just, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, it's just like I get the game
So
and I played
predictable.
the.
So
It is. It's very
predictable.
predictable, and it honestly, like at this rate, it bores me. Like I haven't played. I haven't bought. I think the last Assassin's Creed game I bought was Origins, and I really enjoyed it. But it was also like one of those types of games, and yeah, I haven't really played an Assassin's Creed game since that game.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't
Just-
know.
yeah.
I played all the Assassin's Creed games, but I don't know. It feels not Assassin's Creed because the Assassin's Creed game stopped with Black Flag. Yeah, when the Origins came out, that's not Assassin's Creed game. It's
Hmm.
new RPG game definitely with the same name.
Yeah,
So
they like to franchise stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, yeah, I mean, Valhalla for me was kind of a okayish. I mean, good Assassin's Creed game from like if I compare it to like Odyssey and Origins and everything, it kind of became
it's
like
definitely better
yeah,
than the Odyssey.
absolutely.
Mhm.
For
I don't
me,
know.
I mean, yeah, we don't want to go
I
too far into that.
well, well, I described it to a friend once. I basically said to him, I think Ubisoft has this an innate ability where it's like they'll hit gold like once in a franchise, like for example Far Cry 3, gold. And then they'll never like and then the next game in that franchise like Far Cry 4 or 5 will always be good, but it won't be ever like the same as like that first like lightning strike that they got. I using like so many analogies there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason, not the reason, but I played Origins. Yeah, I played all of the newer Assassin's Creed games, and I think that Odyssey was a major improvement when it compared to Origins, right? And I'm really biased when it comes to Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I love Vikings to death. So, but when it comes to game mechanics in general, Valhalla is actually a lot different than Odyssey. Odyssey felt a lot more smooth in some ways, but it also had a lot of issues when it comes to the bloated health on hard difficulties. And let's not get too far away
Yeah.
into game mechanics. But Valhalla had a lot of improvements, but it also felt a lot different. So you couldn't actually directly compare them to previous two games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but they updated the formula, obviously. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the storytelling in Valhalla is like a lot better than Odyssey, and
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. But
Um,
yeah, that's one thing. We'll see what's gonna be happening with Assassin's Creed. But obviously, they said they're gonna be actually releasing something of an update. You said that you follow that more than I do.
yeah. On the E3, they will announce some new major patch or something like that.
They already released. I think was it a DLC or just a content update? We talked about this Baldard.
I think it was I think it was not DLC, but
Something about
some bigger
druids.
patch.
Yeah,
That great some great patch
content update. Yeah.
content update. Yeah, but
Hmm.
on they announced. So I read somewhere they announced that there will be some announcement for some bigger patch or maybe a new content upgrade on E3. So that will be interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily,
what do you guys think
they
about
Hmm?
Far Cry? Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you can finish it off. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what do you guys think about like Far Cry 6?
I don't know. I'm not hyped about that game.
I'm not hyped either, but I'll admit this one time that
They are making the same thing like with Assassin's Creed. That they are going through eras or through some history moments. So this one will
yeah,
be the Far Cry 6 will be, I think, in I don't know, they in Africa or somewhere with some rebellion or stuff.
I think they said it's like kind of like it's not Cuba, but it's kind of like based on Cuba
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense
Yeah,
of
It's
like
not a real place. Yeah.
yeah, which I think is always a safe bet because you don't want to like make. I mean, sometimes you don't want to like put a certain
yeah.
like
There is
put
some
people
kind
into
of
a corner.
I don't know. In Far Cry games, there is some always some big rebellion or something like that in major stories. So in main story, I mean. So I'm not interested in new one.
The reason
The-
why I'm kind of I don't want to say excited, but the reason why I want to play it is because if this is not debunked already, but that small kid from the trailer was actually supposed to be Vas from Far Cry 3, right?
Yeah, but that
No,
was
Yeah.
debunked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. Was it debunked?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's not. Damn. So
No,
I'm
no.
not interested at all.
Okay.
Dude,
Well, I
dude,
know. Well, I was gonna
after
say.
Bust, everyone, every
Well, I was gonna
negative guy is like baby after Bust.
Well, I was gonna say my only interest in it, and I fully admit this is not a good reason to buy a game, so don't take my word for it, is because I really like the main actor, the actor that they're having in it, Giancarlo Esposito. So there's not a good reason to buy the game. I'm just saying that that's the only reason I'm excited for it. But
Yeah.
Good.
that's just me.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I like the gunfights. So from what I've seen, it looks cool, but it's like I don't know. I'm not particularly like I don't expect too much because I don't want to be left disappointed. So I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna have that Ubisoft style to it. It's still gonna have probably towers to reveal, etc., etc. You know, climb them, scout, and reveal the map. But you know,
Yeah.
if it's fun and if it's actually like I always go from that perspective. Like if gunplay is fun for me, if I can like do some cool stuff, craft weapons, whatever, just have some mindless action fun, that's great. I'm not expecting like anything crazy. Like obviously, even though they have a good cast, that guy I forgot his name. It's actually
Giancarlo Esposito.
yeah. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
he's great, but the thing is, when what I noticed in video games, whenever they bring someone like huge, it's mostly for
Like
marketing.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, no, Abby, yeah, of course, and I acknowledge that 100%.
Yeah, I'm excited that he's in the game, definitely, especially because more actors are gonna accept that. But it's like I feel like sometimes they don't use them that much to actually just show that acting range. They're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna use them for promotion. He's gonna be there. You're gonna see him in a couple of scenes, and that's it. I actually want them to like really push it, but yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of that, I was actually kind of surprised with Cyberpunk and Keanu Reeves because he was not just like there for a second; he was there through the entire game. So I
Yeah,
thought
the
that was
main
really
character
well
of
done.
I thought it was really good in the game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To second longest or biggest amount of lines, dialogue lines in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
Despite
so,
all the all the problems that the game had, I think that part was actually great.
Yeah, no, he was really good in that game.
yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, he
He
was
was good. Yeah.
as Johnny. I don't know. I kind of got used to him now as Johnny Silverhand. I was just wondering like who else would kind of fill that role, but I mean, you know, I didn't. Yeah,
It's almost in a way of a perfect casting because like the thing is like, and I don't say this because I dislike Keanu Reeves, but like nobody thinks of Keanu Reeves as like no, I don't think anyone here like thinks that he's like the greatest actor on the planet.
Yeah.
'Cause he's okay. He's not bad, but he's okay. But he was really good in that role.
yeah, it's interesting to watch. That's the thing. You have some actors which are just interesting to watch. Like they're not maybe I don't know working for Coppola or something like that, but you know,
He's
it's
got that wholesome feel to him
yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
The
exactly.
vibe, yeah.
Yeah, like you're breathtaking.
yeah, and there's a lot of lines actually in the game from Johnny which are actually like very memorable. So it's like, oh, cool. I mean, I don't know. It's same with Henry Cavill now as The Witcher. Like at first it was difficult to kind of see him as Geralt of Rivia from like, and
Yeah,
now it's like I kind of
now
But
got used
now
to him.
I cannot imagine someone else in that role.
Yeah, I think I got used to him like as Geralt. Maybe
Yeah,
less
no,
muscle.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. So after the Summer Game Fest, we have Koch Prime Time, which people have been speculating something that we're gonna see maybe new Saints Row, maybe Red Faction. Even those things have been thrown out.
Red Faction.
I don't think that's happening. But I'm thinking like now with Unreal Engine 5, the amount of distraction and like those things they can have on the screen, like imagine that. The distraction and like
Yeah.
a new
I actually I bought. It's funny, you know. I bought and played recently Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered as well. I played it years ago, but then I rebought the remaster because I was like, oh yeah, this game was awesome. And I started playing. I'm like, this is not as good as I remember it. I wish I didn't buy it. Because I was like, ah man, I would have had my memory of this game preserved in like my memory as like such one like a great game. Um, it was good. I do agree with though, like that would be awesome to have like that kind of like destruction level with the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Funny thing about that, I recently had an interesting post on my YouTube community page, and I said something about I would love to have an RPG, like a AAA RPG with full
Destructibility, yeah, that'd be
destructibility
awesome.
of the world, right? And someone had a really insightful comment about that. I might gonna sound stupid when I say that because I don't know the technical terms when it comes to development, obviously. But he said something like, "It's kind of counterproductive when it comes to graphics because the better they get, it's becoming more progressively harder to do a full destruction in the environment destruction." And I don't know, that sounded, I don't know, kind of. And I was like sad for a moment, but that sounds legit. I don't know.
The
No,
chaos
it's
destruction
yeah.
system is gonna lead to even more games having destructible environment as a standard.
If
And
if the game has a full environmental destruction, it's gonna look like Minecraft. Basically, that was the reference that he was trying to make.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think it's just more of the like the more tax I want to say the more taxation, like the more you put on the engine,
Yeah.
like the more stress you put on the engine, obviously it's going to be harder to get that game to like perform to like a 60 FPS for example standard that you want to get, because you're trying to like account, because like that's the thing about Red Faction Guerrilla that I think really stands out even to this day, is that nothing's ever going to break the same. It's always going to have this like really like different kind of feel to it every single time it breaks. And whether or not that's actually true, I'm sure you can probably break it down and be like, well, no, this broke the same, but maybe. But it just always had that feeling of like this would destroy. Like when you broke something, like took down a building, it always like kind of felt like it was just destructing or like breaking differently, which I think is something I don't think any game has really captured fully to this day. I could be wrong if someone has a game that they know of that does that, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I see two possibilities for destructible stuff. So first, I mean, you can maybe include it in like, kind of a more Call of Duty like games, more linear kind of titles where you're actually going through maybe a war scene or something and everything is getting destroyed around you and you're getting into gunfights, etc., etc. Like, obviously, I would kind of see that. And maybe the second thing, which I don't know how much it was explored, but imagine if you had a game where obviously there was destructible environment, but it you wouldn't be able to do it just with maybe a sword or something, and maybe in the half of the game you have a siege on a certain castle, and then
Yeah,
maybe from there you can have some destructibility, and from there
but
after that's done, yeah, you
those
have
parts are highly
aftermath for
scripted. Yeah.
yeah, but no. For example, only certain weapons can do destruction. So after the battle, through that entire RPG, and after that battle, you just have that war-torn castle, etc., etc. But that would probably require a lot of technicalities for people to
Yeah,
rebuild, and but that's for me that's like kind of a future of gaming, where the world is more responsive and AI is more responsive.
that's one of the things that I wish for future RPGs, and I realize it's really hard to do. And like you said, we even now have a lot of those scripted events in a lot of RPGs where you can destroy stuff, and but that's like, I don't know, too scripted, and that's
Yeah,
not what we're
yeah.
talking about here, right? But I also had a lot of comments about the topic where people said, "Oh, but that will totally destroy the story of the game, because what happens if you destroy a whole city where where the main story is, where the blah blah." And I was like, no, but the ability to destroy this stuff, you will need a lot of, I don't know, your character has to be a lot really powerful to
Or a
do this
siege
stuff,
engine
right?
or something you would
Yeah,
need to have,
yeah,
but even then I would
yeah,
maybe say like, oh well, consequences.
yeah,
Well, I
Like that
mean,
would
exactly,
be a
exactly,
crazy game when you think about it.
exactly.
the thing is like I haven't gotten around to playing it, but from what everyone says about like for example like Wasteland 3, that the level of like choice and consequence in that game is like bar none, because you can literally like the first guy you meet, I think that someone though I think ACG always says like the first guy you meet in the game, you can kill him, and then that changes the whole story of the game practically.
That's
And
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, like you can do stuff like that. That's why I've been super curious about that game specifically, because I'm kind of like, just to have that level of choice and consequence where you can pretty much just change the whole plot of a game, kind of, in effect, is like just insane
and
to me.
and you would think twice before you, I don't know, cast some powerful spell in a city or something like that. You would think
Yeah.
twice before you start spamming your spells just for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Gothic is the best when it comes to that. And I can especially tie it with Ubisoft's version of like map exploration. Like in Gothic, it's like you're not being shown like you don't go to this area of the Valley of Mind, but they'll post a guard and maybe he's gonna say to it like if you go beyond this area you're gonna die and you most likely will, you know. And it's like naturally as you go through the game, as they give you more quests, then they tell you, oh well, behind these rocks, you know, there's gonna be some stuff now you can go, and then it's like a grand reveal. Because I believe that locations now in video games, like they don't really hype them up from like the immersion perspective. You know, it's like, oh, you're gonna go to this location, it's gonna be different. You can just kind of stroll in. I don't know. It might
It
be
looks
just me.
nice. It looks nice, and that's it.
Yeah, there is no rewarding of exploration from exploration.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, for all the faults that like you could find with Bethesda games, like I don't think anybody would argue that the level of like interactability with the world is like in their games is probably one of the best in terms of like at least that one aspect of their games. It's just like the level of the ways you can like interact with the world is
Yep.
a
Yeah.
lot of ways like what makes those games like so fun to play.
Yeah, I always enjoyed exploring in both Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Like for me, like personally, the most favorites is Oblivion when it
Yeah,
comes
no,
to
I
Elder
mean that.
Scrolls.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
that had like the coolest exploration for me personally. But also, if you look at Skyrim and everything, it also had really cool stuff, and that's why I'm like, don't let me fast travel until I see it. Like until I set my foot there, don't let me fast travel. Just that.
Yeah, first discover the location, then you can fast travel. Although I would argue that that approach is also kind of maybe not that great, but something like, I don't know, carriage in Skyrim is okay way of fast
I
traveling
mean that,
and
yeah,
kind of more
that,
immersive, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. But just the click, and you're there. Carriage, absolutely yes, I agree with that. That's in the game, but just
Yeah,
uh,
something more immersive, a more immersive approach to that.
yeah.
And I think, speaking about Skyrim, there are a ton of mods, immersion mods, so that's not even an issue anymore in Skyrim. But in games, in games that don't have that privilege of great modding scenes, and maybe I think that topic should be, I don't know, more. They should think more about those mechanics.
Yeah, when we mentioned the Elder Scrolls games, is there any chances to see some new update on E3 about new
Doubt
Elder
it.
Scrolls
No,
game?
doubt that.
Yeah, we're
Probably
gonna
not.
listen. We're gonna get a teaser for a trailer that's going to come out in the next 5 years. So there you go.
Yeah, but so yeah,
Better something than nothing. Yeah.
to be fair, the last time I think Bethesda announced a big game, I think the last one was Fallout 76, and before that was Fallout 4. The game came out like months later. So the only reason I think
Oh,
they
they always
announced
do that actually.
yeah, the
With the
only
release.
reason I think they announced Elder Scrolls 6 like formally is because nobody would shut up about it. And I don't mean that like as anybody was like us per se. I was just like people in general were just so annoying. Like, when's the game coming out? When
You
is it
know,
coming? Are you making it? And they're like, yes, we're making it. Please like leave us alone.
I don't think that's the case. I think they released the trailer or teaser. That's not a trailer, definitely, for Elder Scrolls 6 because people wouldn't shut up about Fallout 76.
Oh yeah, no,
Maybe.
that's
It could
also
be.
good. That's also fair too. Which yeah, so that's also fair too. I think that's the only reason they showed it. But I know they said like once that Starfield's like their focus, and I'm sure I would imagine like once that is out, like then they'll move on to like kind of like a fullish production on the next Elder Scrolls.
A lot of people thought that Starfield is going to come out this year, and I was like, damn, these people are so delusional. There's no way that Starfield is going to come out
No,
this year. I
no.
would be pleasantly surprised, obviously, and I want it to come out, but I think even the next year is under question, like a big question. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it always of course depends on how I guess you'd say how far along they are. in terms of
Yeah,
development.
to be honest, they have to nail Starfield because Starfield, like next to
I
it,
agree.
let's say Elder Scrolls and Fallout, it's a new IP. Like people are they're gonna buy new Elder Scrolls and new Fallout, even if it has problems. Like obviously, if it's single player, you're gonna have mods which are gonna change the experience if you like those games for the modding scene if you just like that. But like Starfield, like people are gonna go like, should I really buy it? It's not like Fallout, it's not Elder Scrolls. I don't have any emotional connection with it, like from nostalgia effect and everything. So they really have to nail it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
definitely. Starfield has to be great and kind of a redeeming factor because Fallout 76. Although a lot of people are saying that Fallout 76 now is an okay game, right? I don't know. I never played it, but it's kind of a redeeming factor. Definitely. Like I think
Yeah.
that Witcher 4 will be for CD Projekt Red.
I hope. I really do hope. I really
Yeah,
want
well,
the Witcher to succeed, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Obviously, yeah.
yeah, well, I think I think people are, I mean, rightfully so. I totally, I understand. They probably write off CD Projekt Red now because of Cyberpunk, but like I still think they're a talented studio and they could still churn out like great games. But forgetting that for a second, yeah, I absolutely agree. Like I think they need to nail Starfield, and I also think they need to, and maybe this is too much to ask, but I think it'd be really cool if the game was in as little as it doesn't has as few bugs as possible for like a Bethesda release.
No, it's gonna be buggy as hell.
That's the thing though. It's like and I'm not saying this like that people can't be excited or like the game, but like I guess that's part of the reason like I'm not as hype as other people because I'm like, God, it's gonna be broken at launch. Like we know that, right? If we're based off their history, like I would be happy to be wrong, and I would happy to be just everyone come and be like, hey Ryan, you were wrong. I'm like, yeah, okay,
The big
fine.
question is how much people are going to give them a free pass when it comes to bugs in new releases.
Yeah,
For this one,
I
I
would.
don't think much. They're not
Yeah.
gonna give them a pass for Starfield. Depends on the game. Like obviously, we don't know like what the game is gonna look like, but I think it's gonna be like their formula, but it's gonna be like in space. 'Cause
Fallout
they,
in space.
yeah, maybe.
Or Skyrim in space.
They can obviously surprise us and do something entirely different, but some of the leaked images stuff that are being thrown around the internet, it's like maybe it's gonna be like that, some shipbuilding, exploration, whatever, questing. But yeah, I do want it to be good because especially when it's new IP, it's interesting. It's like it's not the already established franchise, and it's I think lately we need to have more of that when it comes to games, like especially for bigger studios, they really need to push into some new IPs because like you can only do so many Call of Duties and they're gonna be played. That's cool, but just expand a little bit for God's sake.
Yeah.
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 Zulu, we haven't talked about Elden Ring yet. We're gonna talk about it later.
Oh damn! Do you think we're going to see the trailer
No.
for Elden Ring? No.
Definitely no. But I'm excited about Babylon's Fall because I'm a really big fan of Bayonetta and the Devil May Cry looking games. So the Babylon's Fall looks really interesting, and there will be some new updates and infos on E3.
I don't even
So
know
I'm
what's
a-
that. Is that
Dude,
an
Yeah, I
action
don't-
game?
the game
Yeah, I
looks
never heard
no,
of it.
it's an action game like the Bayonetta or Devil May Cry.
Oh, okay.
The game looks really amazing, and as a fan of action games and the Bayonettas, because the developers are the same as the developers that made Bayonetta, so this one sounds really interesting for me.
Yeah.
Babylon's Fall.
I'll check it. I'll check it. Actually, I actually missed those games, but it's just like cool action, doing combos and stuff.
Yeah,
Actually,
because I have been playing the Transylvania games for a couple of times. I replayed the game actually, and I played the Bayonet. So the games are really interesting, and the combat is amazing. It's a typical hack and slash game. So Babylon's Fall is uh it's a copy paste of Devil May Cry looking games. So
yeah.
with different story, of course, but I'm really interested to see the new updates. Will it come
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah. So Yeah, any news regarding the Witcher next gen update? No, that's gonna be coming by the end of the year, I believe, and that's
No, there will
where
be
we
news
stand.
about new Witcher game.
That's
No,
where we
I
stand when it comes to the Witcher
I
3.
I think I think that's honestly I think that's probably like that's like you know how like a lot of game studios and developers and stuff they have that like fail safe in case everything's going wrong. I feel like the Witcher 3 like next gen update is going to be like they're like, "Hey guys, we're still cool, right?" You know, kind of like when they release it. It's like, "Hey, we're still cool, right?" And it's like, "Yeah. Okay."
Yeah, we'll see how that's gonna go. Yeah, also we can talk a little bit about Bethesda and Xbox presentation because now obviously, yeah, everything is under Microsoft and under Xbox, and I'm actually excited about this, at least from like when I go from the Xbox side, because it's gonna probably most likely gonna have Stalker 2, some proper gameplay maybe. We'll see what they have for us, and then Forza maybe, Forza 5 finally, or Forza 6 or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
really looking
know,
forward
I'm
to it.
sorry for interrupting, bro, but I'm reading somewhere that the Capcom will announce the new game from Serials of Dragon's Dogma.
No
From
way.
Dragon's Dogma.
No way. I don't
Bro,
believe it.
there
I
is
don't believe
there is a chance, and the I don't know, some announce for some sequel for Monster Hunter game.
Monster Hunter Rise is gonna get an update, or they're probably going to talk about Monster Hunter Rise because it's still a really fresh game,
Bro,
and
there is a
they
chances to
to
Dragon's
see
Dogma
Dragon's
2.
Dogma. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Um
Yeah, I would really like to see that, but I'm still kind of, I don't know, doubtful.
yeah, but back to like the Xbox and Bethesda, I would say I'd say I'm probably most interested in like what Obsidian's probably going to show. Because there's been like rumors that they're going to like announce like an Outer Worlds 2 or
Hmm.
like Avowed or show Avowed, but
Yeah.
I think I'm less like convinced about Avowed being shown than I am about like announcing like an Outer Worlds 2.
When I
Um
saw the Outer Worlds for the first time, I my first thoughts was this is the Fallout in space. That was my
it's
first thoughts, and when I tried the game, it's nothing special really.
Yeah, no, I
It
mean,
comes to me.
I totally think it was. I mean, this is probably my fault. It was totally overhyped for me. Like I enjoyed it and I thought it was good. It was just like it wasn't. It was. I absolutely agree. It wasn't like it didn't blow me away. And like other people were like so hot on it, and I'm like, it's good, but it's not.
It's it
It's
released.
okay.
It released at the right time because of the Fallout 76 mess, and people wanted proper, I don't know, Fallout-like games. So I think
Yeah,
it's the
and
same story as
It was a good
the.
RPG though.
No,
yeah, no, there was
Yeah.
nothing
yeah,
wrong with
Yeah.
it. It
yeah,
was
no,
just like
it's
it didn't click with me.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
just
well,
so
from that RPG perspective, it was good because like you had different endings, and it's like if you do this, your
yeah,
character is
oh
RPG
gonna
no,
be.
some RPG choices
That
were
was
pretty
great.
good. Yeah,
oh
I
no,
remember.
you're. I did a whole. I watched a video where I did a whole speed run. I didn't do it. I didn't do it on like my channel or anything. But I played the game and I did a whole speed run on like the supernova difficulty. You can do a whole speed run on the supernova difficulty and you can beat the game in an hour, which is like
Oh,
amazing.
then
Just the fact that like the game allows for that level
yeah,
of like
choices. Yeah,
choices,
yeah.
that's why like I've always been like a pretty big fan of Obsidian because they seem to still like really care about putting like a lot of meaningful like choices in the
They're always
story and
good.
branching paths.
They're
Yeah,
always
no,
good
they're
with
always good.
dialogue choices. Yeah, with dialogue.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
remember
Knights of the
some.
Old Republic 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Hmm.
So,
I remember some pretty good quests from Outer Worlds and some optional quests as well. So I didn't have problems with that. But just the game in general, I think it was really mediocre. It's not bad, not at all. But I don't know.
yeah, no, I mean, I like I said, that doesn't mean I'm totally into like them making a sequel though, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. And they also said like that game was kind of they didn't really have a huge budget for it. It wasn't even like a AAA title in their sense. It was just a smaller thing, but I'm
Yeah,
glad that
now
they
with that
did it.
Microsoft backing, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be great because we talked about it a long time ago, and from like the Cyberpunk community podcast, like Obsidian also one of the people there mentioned like nothing is stopping now, like Xbox to just knock on their door and say, guys, you want to make New Vegas too? Like,
Oh yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
I think out of the new Fallout games, that's probably the best one in my opinion. The New
it's
Vegas.
amazing.
Um
It's so good.
so yeah, it's probably my favorite one, and I definitely I would be like, even if it's not like New Vegas, it's just like Obsidian making another Fallout game. I'd be down.
The thing about New Vegas is yeah, it was a great RPG in a sense, right? A lot of RPG features and mechanics, right? But they had a solid base for the game because of the Fallout's engine, right? Because of the Fallout 3 engine, and that will be the same when it comes to potentially New Vegas 2, because they would have Fallout's 4 improved engine. I mean, it's the same freaking engine. It's an old engine, but you know what I mean. I think, yeah, that could be really interesting actually. And
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it, but it would be cool.
no, but it will be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Dan, sorry, yeah, no video. My cam actually broke, but they should be returning my cam by the end of the week. So next time we do something like this, we'll have video.
Yeah, you could see all our beautiful faces.
Yeah, and also, yeah, when it comes to Gothic remake, it's still in development. We'll see when is that coming out. Like, they haven't shared anything special
No new
for it.
updates.
Yeah, just we're developing, and that's about it.
Who's developing that?
That's
THQ, I think.
THQ Barcelona. Yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
newly formed studio. They're gonna be doing that.
Yeah,
But
in
yeah.
next 5 years, THQ will be the best. I think the best
The
developer.
biggest, maybe.
The biggest. I mean, the
biggest.
biggest. Yeah, the biggest. They're keep
They're gonna be
buying
pretty big. Yeah.
the games.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Embracer Group? Like, they got like 60 studios under them.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy. They just keep buying shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, THQ has been really, really pushing lately, and it's like, we'll see. I mean, obviously there is, as Dan says, there is also Elix 2, and I actually do believe that Bethesda is going to show something finally, because they have been really quiet. It's been a while since we had anything new from Piranha Bytes, and I think they had enough time to actually work on
Wait,
Elix 2. We'll see.
we can't see anything related to Piranha Bytes on E3, right?
I mean, not generally on E3, but they might just
Yeah,
do their
just
own thing.
yeah.
Just announce it like, boom, here it is. Or even THQ might, drop something. They might have
They
something of their own thing.
Piranha Bytes
we
have
got
a
the we
yeah,
got the
sorry.
comment about is there any chance to see something new about the Elix 2? And I
Yeah,
think
we're just talking about that. I was going to say that Piranha Bytes have a very similar philosophy to Bethesda, because usually when they announce something like, I don't know, a new game, it comes out
Yeah.
like a couple of months after the announcement. So they're really quiet when it comes to their new games in general. So I think Elix 2 is going to be the same, like, right? It's going to the trailer. We're gonna see a trailer, and the game will come out, I don't know, 5 or 6 months after that.
Yeah, one thing actually they like to do, and I'm really like happy when it comes to Piranha Bytes, they really like to show gameplay. Like before Elix came out, they had like good 15-20 minutes of just raw gameplay of just a guy playing the game,
Yeah.
And that's something I really want, more studios to do. And we'll see if they're gonna do it. But
Exactly.
it always benefited Piranha Bytes, because to be honest, like they kind of are becoming more popular now, because they were usually kind of a Europe centric studio in a sense. Not a lot of people, let's say from US, played Gothic, etc., etc. So it kind of has a different formula to it. It's like Piranha Bytes games can be really difficult, like Jesus.
They definitely are, and they are beginner unfriendly as it gets. Like, I don't know, maybe besides Piranha Bytes games, I think, like, I don't know, Monster Hunter games are also really beginner unfriendly. So I don't know. I really don't know how can they fix that, but I think they don't really care. They have a really strong cult-like following, so they don't care. I mean, they would like to sell more copies, obviously, but
yeah.
I think they will never change that, and I'm actually happy because of that, because you know what to expect in their games if you played basically any of their games.
Yeah, I think it's a good quality.
Yeah. Midnight Arcade, no need to spam. You can just write once. We're gonna look at it. So for me personally, it's Stalker 2. Just me personally. I'm just looking forward to that.
Me too, bro.
Just give me Stalker, and I'm good for the next 5 years. But yeah, I don't know about you guys.
I think we will have time to replay the older games before we see the new one.
Yeah. Yeah, regarding other shows, there's gonna be Square Enix, Warner Bros, Take-Two Interactive with Capcom. Yeah, everyone's been saying, oh, new GTA. No. Forget
No,
about
no.
it. Forget about it.
I think you're probably. I think. I think you're. I think Rockstar does their own thing.
Yeah, they
They
don't
don't.
care.
Yeah, they don't care. I think the thing is, I think people understand that Rockstar makes so much money from GTA Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. And I'm not that not to say that they're not going to make another like GTA or proper Red Dead Redemption kind of game, but they could just not for another 10 years and they'd be fine. That's how much money they make. We're talking about a company that a studio that they sold GTA 5 on like they're releasing it again for the new consoles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also, Red
yeah,
Dead 2, I
so
think it's coming out for new consoles as well.
yeah,
I'm telling you.
so I'm not saying they're not going to do another GTA, but like I think if when they announce it, they'll just announce it whenever they feel like it. They're not going to even do it at E3, you know.
Yeah.
I would think you're more likely to see like an announcement of a possible, which has been rumored for a while, of like a Red Dead Redemption 1 remake or Red Dead Redemption 1 remake or like remaster.
That'd be
That's like I
cool.
think
Or
yeah,
Bully.
that'd be cool and I'd be down for that.
It's like,
Or yeah,
what happened with that? Like, come on,
dude,
I-
I don't I that is one of their most I think probably underrated games on their catalog.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see another Bully game.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people are saying maybe it's like now it's like climate and everything, the political climate. I'm like, it's a video game. And trust me, people will buy it. They won't bother with it because like,
Yeah, but that's the thing too about Bully is that like it's like totally like anti-bullying. If you
yeah,
play
yeah,
it, that's
yeah,
what it is.
yeah, yeah. You're a guy protecting other people from bullies.
Literally.
You're
Like that's
bullying
the
the
point of the
bullies.
game, bro.
Yeah.
Like why do people like so like what is going on here?
I don't know. I don't think sadly that we're gonna see Bully like anytime soon.
No, yeah.
No, they're probably just gearing up for the next GTA. But yeah, it's actually they're smart with that. I think Rockstar is generally smart because even though people like rage and say like, "Oh, where is GTA 6?" blah blah blah, they're just not gonna say anything because they know ultimately once it releases and once they announce it, like people are gonna buy it.
It's crazy
Yeah,
to
no.
think. It's crazy
Yeah.
to think that GTA 5 came out like 8 years ago.
Yeah, but
2013, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's
well, but I think GTA 5, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure to date is one of the fastest selling entertainment products in history. Like
yeah.
anything in regards to anything. So,
Wasn't in regards to everything. I thought that
Not
Diablo
even
3
like-
was that's probably the most copies sold or something.
yeah,
PC,
no, not even like I can double check it, but not even like I'm not even talking about like like American entertainment product, like just in general.
That's
Just
crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy.
I could look it up while we're discussing, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean they do like there's a lot of people playing GTA. It's still being sold. I mean it also like moved up a lot now with RP.
It's a
and
huge
everything.
part. Yeah, RP. I was just going to say that it's a huge
Yeah.
part of role players on Twitch.
bro, believe it
Uh,
or not, the GTA San Andreas was the last GTA I played.
Okay, so technically,
and
so
I'm
my
still in that.
so just to cap off that what I was saying, Minecraft is technically the most like sold game of all time.
Oh my God.
200 million copies or
Jesus.
in
Stop.
sales, right? Not
Stop,
copies,
please.
sorry. 200 million in sales, I guess,
Wow.
unless that is copies.
But-
Grand Theft Auto 5 is in second place, and it is sorry, actually, I'm correct. 145 million copies of GTA 5 have been sold.
Holy
And
shit.
it is as of April 2018 the most financially successful entertainment product of all time with about $6 billion in worldwide revenue. So
Yeah,
I think they're doing
That's
fine.
enormous.
Yeah, we are getting a new game for about, I don't know, 5 years.
yeah,
No,
but,
I mean they'll
but,
do one. Obviously, they're obviously going to do it, but it's going to be, I think, another couple of years.
Yeah, but at the same time, understand why? Because they know like they're gonna be selling GTA for the next 10 years. So it's like just they know
It's
if
the-
they take their time, it's like
It's the
I
new
mean-
Skyrim. It's the new Skyrim, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
not new, but something like that.
Yeah, it's a good game. So I get it, but
We'll see. We'll see
know.
what's gonna be happening with them. But yeah, we also have Nintendo. Although I don't follow Nintendo that much, sadly.
Wow.
Breath of the Wild 2, probably trailer or something.
No, I think it won't be. I think it
There-
won't be the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer
There are
at
some
all.
rumors
And
about Breath of the Wild trailer too.
I
the
think
game is in development. I read somewhere the game is in development, but that's all we know so far. No
yeah,
rumors, no pictures,
yeah,
nothing.
because they did have that one trailer to announce it, so we know that.
Yeah,
It depends.
but they
Like
didn't
I always,
show anything.
yeah, I think it also again it always depends. I think it always just depends on how far it is away.
Yeah.
Nintendo has been kind of I think they've just been coasting lately because if you notice they haven't really had any like major new releases in like I think like a while. I'm not talking about like remasters and ports and like re-releases. Like they haven't really had like any major, unless I'm wrong here, haven't had really any major releases. So I think they've just been coasting for quite a bit.
Yeah, because I think they're in the best position right now because when everyone was, not trying to make handheld devices, they were doing that. And now it's like when handheld is becoming more mainstream again with Switch, they basically own the market, if you ask me, because Sony missed that opportunity with PSP or whatever.
Vita,
Like
yeah.
I'm so mad that they actually didn't follow up on PSP because I think now that would be really, really good. Like that would sell,
Vita,
especially if they port like some of their games to that now. Oof.
Vita was actually a pretty good console, but it has some. I think the biggest problem was the memory cards because they were extremely expensive, which was really stupid by their side.
Yeah, I don't know about that though.
Yeah,
'Cause,
these days they probably be pretty. I don't know about
No,
how they
not
are
it's
now.
cheap. Yeah, now it's cheap.
Yeah, these
Obviously,
days they'd be cheap, but
when
yeah,
it came out, the one of the biggest problems with Vita was the memory cards because
Yeah.
they're really expensive and the internal memory was crap. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, no,
But yeah,
yeah,
I think that's just Nintendo. They're just chilling. They're doing their own thing.
yeah. Well, we'll see. But now they're good.
Well,
They
yeah,
don't care.
there's the
the
Switch
thing,
Pro rumors though.
yeah, although I don't think that's coming out. I don't know. People are crazy about it now. If you type everywhere, you will see news about it, but not actual news, just rumors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I wonder if they're gonna wait to announce it until they know when it's gonna come out
yeah, I don't think
because
it's
they
coming
don't.
anytime soon, actually.
Yeah,
Might
I
be
don't think
wrong, but
they. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't. You're right. I don't think they want to announce it and say, "Oh, it'll be here in the fall," and then they have to delay it for whatever reason.
Mm.
yeah, people thought that that Switch Pro is going to come out near the end of this year or even a lot sooner, and
I would say
the
probably next year is safe
yeah,
to say.
probably maybe at the end of the next year. I would say maybe that's a safe bet or something. Maybe even on summer or something like that. I don't know. We can just speculate, right? But to go
Yeah.
back to that Sony handheld device, I think there are some rumors about the next Sony handheld device. I might be wrong, but I would really love that to happen because one key difference between Sony and Nintendo when it comes to build quality. You can still use a PSP from 2006, I don't know,
Yeah.
and the build quality, the buttons and stuff are arguably better than the Switch ones. So that's always I don't know that's a crazy thought, but I like
Yeah.
that about Sony because all of their devices are at least handheld devices like PSP and Vita are feeling like a premium product, while
Mm.
the Switch stuff are feeling like toys basically. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I just want to buy the light, the Switch Lite, because I don't know. I think it has a lot of decent games on it. I don't know what's going on with frame rate there, but at least it can play Zelda and stuff. But yeah.
I'm really surprised with how
It's chugging along. Let's put it that way. From
Mhm.
what I understand, like I only have a few games on my Switch,
Yeah.
but it is
um,
it's some of the newer games I think it's struggling a bit with.
the ports. only the ports are really struggling.
Yeah,
They're not
like I know
optimized.
like
Yeah.
the Outer Worlds I think port was
Oh,
apparently like
it's
pretty
really bad. It's really
it
bad.
was pretty atrocious, I heard.
I'll wait for Switch 2 then.
Uh, I mean, even the
If,
Switch Pro.
Well, some people I think don't they like either emulate or they stream their Switch games to like their computer or
from
something.
Elgato capture card, I think.
Yeah, and then like cuz you'll see you can see like crazy mods for like
Oh yeah.
Breath of the
Oh,
Wild.
that's emulation. Actually. That's emulation.
Yeah, exactly, and people playing in like 4K 60 and it's like that looks awesome.
It
yeah,
came a
emulators
long
came a
way.
lot. Yeah. Just about to say that. from like what I've been seeing initially, what people did with that, and it's like, I know Nintendo is really cracking down on that. Like, ooh, even the mention of emulator in their eyes, it's like, we're gonna strike you down.
Oh
So,
please, these guys they released the collection of the Mario games and they were like, yeah, we can only sell them till March, and we're like, why? And they're like, well, you know, that's their reason. They're like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, like why? You know, no reason, just
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
but besides those ports, I think that games that are originally on Switch, at least the ones I'm playing right now, are pretty good. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma actually now, and I
yeah,
have
you said that I
this,
think on
yeah,
a comment on my video,
yeah,
yeah,
I actually commented that on your video, and it's actually pretty smooth, 30 FPS constantly. So that's okay if you can adjust to that, right? But
yeah, no, I don't have a problem with 30, yeah,
I know we already talked about that, but I
yeah,
think
yeah,
the games are actually well, okay, really playable, but the ports are obviously the biggest problem. Some ports
Mm,
are great actually, but there are some pretty terrible. Like you said, the Outer Worlds is really bad on Switch.
mm.
mm.
Yeah, then just I'll just wait. No kind
Yeah,
of
no, better
no
off.
need for it. I can play it on PC if I want, like especially like Outer Worlds, and I can play it in just normal frame rate and resolution. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
also read
mhm,
something since the Hogwarts Legacy was delayed for the next year, and
yeah.
that's the my most anticipated RPG so far. But since it's
Who's
delayed,
who's
the
publishing or developing that one?
the Warner Bros. But they on this E3 they will be talking only about Back for Blood game and about some new game from the creators of Middle Earth serial. So I like the Middle Earth serial,
Oh
so
yeah,
maybe
okay, I
new
see.
some new
Warner
game will
Brothers.
be will be really interesting.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
also Ascent that
The
Ali keeps
Ascent.
mentioning. Yeah, I looked at. I remember. I think I saw a trailer for this. I think it was like last year when they announced it, and it like looked cool. It's like an action co-op
It's like a
RPG.
it's like a twin stick shooter kind of RPG thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isometric.
yeah,
Yeah.
top down kind of a thing. I don't know. I'll play it, but I don't know much about it. We'll see what's gonna be happening with it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I'll be
think
right back. It's 1 minute.
all right. No problem. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I like you said, like I'll definitely like check it out, but I don't know too much about it. I
Hopefully,
actually just
co-op is
started
fun
looking
though.
into it.
Yeah,
You know, that could make that could probably be pretty cool. Just like you playing with like a buddy or something.
like Alien Swarm. I don't know if you played it. That was so good.
Yeah. No,
No, I
I didn't.
didn't.
That was, I don't know if that's the correct title,
Oh,
but it was so good. Because you
yeah.
just fought against like so many monsters, and it's like it was a difficult game, but it was co-op and it was super fun to play at. So yeah,
Well, I'll say the good thing about The Ascent is that it's going to be on Game Pass. So, if you have Game Pass, you can try it for free, basically. Well,
I'll
not
check it
free, but
out.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, Game Pass has been so good, man. Like, oh man, some probably the best
Yeah,
investment because it's like so many games during the month. It's like I don't know,
definitely.
I don't know. I think they're doing a great
No,
job,
it's
Yeah,
especially. Yeah.
definitely. It
I'm
saves you a
watching
lot of
the
money.
Alien Swarm right now. It looks really great.
What are you playing?
And then I'm watching
Oh,
the Alien Swarm gameplay right
ah,
now, and it looks really interesting.
it's
And it looks like
yeah.
this, the accent, yeah, Ascent,
Yeah.
or what is the name of the game?
Yeah, The Ascent.
Ascent, yeah.
Um, yeah. Game Pass has been pretty bit. Like a friend of mine, he's like kind of like oh I'm just gonna buy. I like to own my games. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I just feel like, don't you want to know if you like it before you go and buy it? And I think that's like probably the biggest thing for me with Game Pass is like you can just try like you can try The Ascent, for example,
Yeah,
and if you don't like it and it's not vibing with you, then you move on,
mm,
and you didn't lose any time or money rather. You didn't
exactly,
lose any extra money. So
exactly. Yeah,
that's
and
how I
it
look at it.
yeah, and it also allows different titles to be like placed there. Like I don't know, titles which maybe won't sell in a classical way, but if you have them for free, they're gonna have like more players, etc., etc. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you saw that with what was that game on PlayStation Plus, Fall Guys?
yeah.
That game blew up because it was on PlayStation Plus. That's the only reason.
Mm.
I mean, it's a fun game, so that's good too. But that's one of the reasons that it did so well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Uh, why is the watching so low? Honestly, I don't mind less reviews. It helps with the anxiety. Like, oh man, I don't like when there's a lot of people. Because one time when like during like E3 2018 when Cyberpunk was announced, I was actually
Yeah.
streaming like, is it going to happen? And it happened. There were like 4,000 people on the stream. I'm like,
Jesus.
Dude.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, I think I think it's good when you, not good when you have a low watch number, but it's good because you want people to be engaged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
know,
and there is a there is
Yeah.
a comment about the YouTube notifications, and that can be that
yeah. I don't like streaming
because
actually
YouTube
on
don't
YouTube.
send any notifications.
I like streaming on Twitch actually more. It's like, yeah, some of the stuff for YouTube, but for me, I don't know. YouTube was always like, I'm gonna upload a video, and that's kind of what I do. Cause I don't know. Streaming is so scuffed on YouTube because it can't. If you show like one thing which YouTube doesn't like, and it's maybe gonna do a copyright content ID, it's gonna immediately either block the stream, strike it down, or whatever. So it's
Or
like,
copyright it, yeah.
yeah, it's so bad to stream on YouTube.
Yeah, I've been watching a couple of your videos I watched one of your videos about like the copyright stuff for YouTube lately.
Yeah.
Bro,
Um,
I'm keeping getting the copyright strikes on my streams from some Indian guy that sent
Yeah,
me
actually, yeah.
the
Same,
bro,
same.
bro, the copyright strike about the music from the Witcher game.
Same.
He
And
obviously
they
has
say
the
it's
rights for
yeah,
Witcher
yeah.
music, I guess.
They say it's a music from some Indian
Could-
TV show,
could
bro.
you imagine? Could you imagine like it's actually a real guy though, and he's just like in like India, and he's like looking at it, and he goes, "What the hell? That's mine!" It's like copyright strike.
Hello, sir. That's mine.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't.
Bro, they're hilarious.
Those companies do that, but hopefully it's gonna be solved. Anybody here hoping for CDPR to announce something during E3? No.
I don't think they're gonna be there.
No. They're just
I
now
don't think they're
working
gonna
on,
be there though.
on fixing Cyberpunk and have a DLC or something, but don't expect anything from them now at
Yeah,
least.
Yeah, I don't think they're even gonna be at E3, are they?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
I think I think the last time they were at E3, they were like presented with Xbox. So if you do get anything about it, it probably be during that event, I'd imagine. But I don't think you're gonna see anything from them.
Yeah, definitely not, because now they have to update the game properly, so it's returned to the Sony store, because it's hurting them a lot. So we'll see when that's gonna happen. But they have next gen of Cyberpunk 2077 in the works, and they have the Witcher stuff. So again, I hope that the next gen edition of Cyberpunk, when it comes out, it actually runs well, because if they screw that up, it's gonna be the second time now like that it has problems.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing too. Yeah, I watched a video, I think, and I saw somebody playing it. I'm like, all right, the level of detail in this video, like, I can definitely tell they're playing on like a really high end build of a PC, because like mine does not look like that when I play it on my PlayStation.
Yeah. So we'll see what's gonna be happening with that. But officially they're not there, and I don't know. I don't really see them showing anything, because there is technically nothing to show. Like,
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
still waiting for the new Witcher game.
I mean, they were big for 3 years. Like, when you think about it, on E3, it was always like, oh, what's CDPR gonna do? Like, obviously now they're in this cooldown phase after the game has been released and
Yeah.
everything happened. So now it's like,
Well,
no.
Well, yeah, I mean, I look at the pattern. If you look at the pattern, I think it's kind of like The Witcher 1 was like, I think a lot of people would say it's good, but it's still kind of like meh
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And then The Witcher 2 is like when they really started to like hit their stride, and it was
Mhm.
like, wow, this is really good. And then The Witcher 3, they like knocked it completely out of the park. Like, great game.
Yeah.
Like, probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. So we're talking about they started a whole new IP, so they probably still didn't even know what it is technically. So I would love for them to like keep improving it and just like really hone in on like what they want to do with this IP. So
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. I agree with that because they have to update the game properly so that, because a lot of people told me like if they abandon Cyberpunk, like they're not gonna be buying their next game, even if it's good, even if it's like the best Witcher game, whatever. Like they're not gonna trust them. So it's in their interest to just
Yeah,
fix up the game because that's gonna
yeah.
ease up.
Every once in a while, I see like an article like that, like, oh, CD Projekt Red's gonna abandon Cyberpunk soon. I'm like, when? What? Where are you gonna get your information from? Like, what where is
There's
that?
no way. There's no way.
Yeah, exactly. They're not gonna just like be like, well, we tried.
Yeah, but there also needs to be some expectations because people expect them to like pull off a No Man's Sky. Like, honestly, I would
That's
love
not
to
gonna
see that,
happen
but
either.
that's not gonna happen. Like, it's totally different stuff.
A totally different scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna be happening. But now, other companies are gonna be getting that slice of fame, in a sense, because they'll want that. A lot of companies would kill for that hype that Cyberpunk had. Now it backfired, obviously, but it's still like initial sales and pre-orders. Like, oof, that was insane.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It will. The sales were still insane,
Yeah.
despite everything.
Yeah, yeah. No, they're dropping off now, but we'll see. Obviously, that increases as updates come and expansions and whatever. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are probably just waiting for the game to be honestly fixed before they play it. Because what's the point? If they're running it on like PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or whatever. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I'm
probably
sure
a mistake,
I'm
right?
sure the game.
All
I'm sure the
the
game runs really well in 240p. You know what I mean?
There is also, I don't know, like if you guys played Halo.
Yeah. I felt very burned by Halo 5, but
Mm.
otherwise, I do like Halo.
What do you think about Halo Infinite? Because obviously it was delayed because, it had
Well,
problems.
Well, fun fact, that's actually one of the first videos I put on my channel was in defense of Halo Infinite because I liked what I saw,
Yeah.
and I don't like, I guess it's like one of those things you have to like kind of like look at it closely to really know what everyone's talking about, because I didn't really have an issue with it, but I also kind of get it, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard to really gauge my thoughts. Like, I'm excited for it and I hope it's good, but I'm not really expecting anything, especially because 343 did like bungle the whole release of Master Chief Collection. And don't get me wrong, like, it's much better now, but they really screwed the pooch on that one.
Mm. Yeah, that was like,
Oh.
I remember because I'm not much of a Halo player. It wasn't really popular here. It was like when people were
Yeah.
playing Halo, we were playing CS.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think for a lot of people, including me, Halo Infinite is gonna be like one of the first. Like, obviously, I have a Game Pass, so I'll play the other Halo games. I touched on I played Halo 1 like when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything like when it comes to that game. So I'll replay it. But Infinite there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be getting into that game for the first time who didn't play it before. So
And I'm
I
one of
hope
them.
it's good. Yeah. Hmm?
I will try them out because I never played a single Halo game. So yeah,
Me neither.
Yeah, if you have Game Pass, definitely check them out. I mean, you can't go. I
I
mean,
will.
if you
I
have,
will.
like, like we were just saying, like, there's no risk involved there.
True.
So
666k subs. Yeah, it's the bad number. I have to go up or down from the 666 number.
All
God,
them.
no, you just got to keep. No, I think you just got to either got to maintain it or you got to get move up.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to kind of round things up. I mean, generally, like, obviously, a lot of people are excited about E3, and I think this year should be good. Honestly, I think 2022 is going to be better because that's when we're going to see all of those next gen titles really, get out there, like God of War and everything else. Because, whenever.
More events too coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah, because right now it's like you have games for the next, or well, the current gen now of consoles, but it's still not really out there. And same when it comes to
Yeah.
consoles, they're not out there, they're gone.
Do you think there will be some new information about the Prince of Persia remake?
They just announced actually like that it will not be at E3.
Really?
They just announced like
Man.
yeah, literally like right
Don't-
before.
don't do
No,
that to
yeah,
me.
no, it's funny you asked that. Like right before we came on to stream here, they had announced that it won't be at E3. So
Yeah.
it's actually funny you asked that.
Yeah, there was that leaked video actually. It looked good. Like it actually
Where?
looked interesting.
Where?
Long.
I didn't
think
saw that.
maybe it's still on. I don't know. Obviously, I cannot say where.
Yeah.
I was burned by Ubisoft once when it comes to leaks, so
We'll
never
talk
again.
later after the stream, bro.
Yeah, well, they were good in the end. Like I reached out and they just said, okay, we removed the thing. 'Cause that was a huge, like they legit thought I was the guy who leaked. I'm like, listen,
Yeah,
I
you
made this for
mentioned
the
on the
news. I
previous
don't know
stream.
what the game is. But yes,
Yeah.
not so other studios, but I don't know. Like guys know that. Like sometimes when you're uploading stuff, it can really be like companies now. It's like it's not happening now as it did before, but they used to like strike down stuff which was talking ill of the game, etc., etc. Like it was chaos when it came to
the
that.
new check system before you upload the video is actually pretty okay with
Yeah.
Yeah.
the copyright stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can
Yeah,
check.
because then yeah,
Yeah,
as
while
you're
uploading,
streaming, you'll know. Yeah.
Yeah, they checked my previous video stream video and it was all good. And a few days later, I got the copyright claim.
Yeah.
Bro, we
Yeah,
need
no,
to
I
be
mean it's not
careful.
gonna. Yeah, of course, like it's not gonna like stop you. It's not gonna stop them from copywriting it, but it does help. At least you can like maybe nip something in the butt during the upload.
Yeah,
but those
yeah.
are manual copyrights, like
Oh, yeah.
Baldard. Those are manual.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but luckily now that YouTube withholds the money, so it's like obviously once you dispute it, that's gonna be solved. Especially if it's like CDPR or Witcher related, I always know it's gonna be disputed because CDPR has a specific policy which allows people to like put their stuff out there. So it's before like
THQ as well.
yeah, but before it was just a problem because your video gets claimed and it's like you don't get the money. It's like that person gets the money and they can get the money for 30 days until they can actually like dispute it. So it's
Yeah.
better now.
Yeah, I know like THQ, like they have a whole section on their website basically saying like you can use basically whatever you want
Yeah.
and still monetize videos if you wanted to.
When it comes to music, I think they have. I don't know. It was THQ. I think it actually. Yeah, it was THQ. When it comes to their music in the games they publish, I think they explicitly said that you can use the music of the corresponding game only for only for the coverage of that game.
Mm. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
think the-
that's the case.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think like if you're like streaming the game, playing the game, like
It's okay.
if
yeah.
you have any issues, like it's fine. Like they just like dispute it and like I think it'll be fine. But I think you're right. Like if you're like using it in like another video, I think that's when you're gonna run into an
The
issue.
funny thing about that, THQ now owns Piranha Bytes, and basically
So they
90%
gothic
of my
music.
videos have
Yeah.
static music, man. So that's gonna be rough if that
I
actually
know, bro, but I stopped using my favorite Witcher song in my videos because of that Indian guy.
You can use that, man. Just dispute it and,
Uh,
and trust me, it's gonna be So-
Bro, but every time I use that track, I keep getting the copyright claim.
So
So
stop using it.
yeah, but that's my favorite.
you can also reach out to CDPR. At least when I was doing that stuff when I had a problem, I just reach out to them and they actually speed up the process of like because it's like it's infringing on their rights because you have other people claiming in their name and it's a huge legal issue for them. So it's like, yeah, people want us to really talk about Elden Ring.
Well,
Here we
Bandai
go.
Namco, I
Let's
think,
talk
is like
about
right after Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do we know much? Do we know much about Elden Ring?
here's a
Hmm?
here's a hot take. It's going
Okay.
to look
Oh,
like
shit.
Dark Souls.
What?
It's going to look like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Here's
definitely.
a hot take.
Yeah, it's from software,
Um,
right? It's the same developer. It's,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, with R.R. Martin.
Um,
Okay. I
Did you
forgot
guys
about this part.
watch? Did you guys watch that leaked trailer for Elden Ring?
No, it was like
No.
a
People,
because it was like what was it like? Because it was I'm pretty sure wasn't it like in like 240p resolution.
Yeah, it was
Like shit like
terrible.
that.
Yeah, but people were kind of surprised because the game looks like Dark Souls, and I'm like, wait, what? Why are you surprised?
I don't
Yeah,
think they yeah, that's the thing though. I don't think they ever said like they were gonna like significantly change the gameplay. I think the only thing they really said much was like one, the
It's
lore was
more like
being
an open world RPG.
yeah, it's an open world,
Hmm.
and they said the lore is gonna be written like by George R.R. Martin, and I think that's the biggest thing about it. And it's a new IP, obviously,
The
but I
way
think
I
it's
see
still
it,
gonna have
yeah.
that DNA.
The way I
Of
see it
course.
is going to be basically like Dark Souls 4. Maybe, I don't know.
With
Yeah.
Bloodborne, kind of a mix of Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Yeah,
At least when it comes like, I mean, my opinion, combat and everything, because it's like that was a huge thing in Bloodborne, no shields and stuff. So
Yeah, more offensive style of combats.
yeah, but I'm
Bloodborne
actually
2.
for this. Yeah, I'm definitely like having an open world Souls-like in a sense with difficulty game with like their kind of a storytelling. I don't mind it because they always have really good, depressing but good storytelling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
depressing, like Jesus.
Yeah, well, I think a click for gameplay. I think you did a video on that indie game Bleak Faith or
yeah,
whatever.
just yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually literally like I gave you credit in my video. I actually just uploaded a video about it because I
Oh,
was
really?
like, well, yeah. I literally was like in the beginning, I'm like, hey, I didn't even know this game existed until he did a video about it. So check out his video. But
Bro,
yeah,
I'm working on Bleak Fate video too.
yeah.
the
So
new updates.
yeah, and that looks like similar in a lot of ways, but
Bro, the
yeah.
game looks dope.
It does
Really,
look really good,
great.
yeah.
Especially if you think that only two guys basically are developing it for about a couple of years or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not to get too far off of Elden Ring, but yeah, I don't know, like, were we expecting like a brand new, like, kind of? I mean, you're gonna get like probably like horses and stuff you can like ride around on.
Yeah, I think there is a scene where the guy is horse riding in. I might be wrong, but I am pretty sure there is a scene where the guy is riding a horse in that leaked trailer.
Yeah, the thing I could see is like I could see it like really evolving the formula because imagine just being in an open world and you can go to whatever boss you want.
You know
Or
what's
like
funny?
fight in your own and like go on your own way.
You know what's funny about the whole thing about the open world and Dark Souls formula? I actually wanted to, for a long time, do a video about it, and the title was going to be something like "Why Dark Souls formula would never work in an open world environment."
Oh, they're gonna prove you wrong, bro. They're gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah, and it's basically the short version of it would be because of the combat itself and how basically especially in the beginning that every fight is like it's every fight can be longer, right, and more methodical, but obviously people are now more profound when it comes to souls like combat because there are a lot of games in the series right now, and you can hear stories about like how Dark Souls 3 is easier than Dark Souls 1 or something like that, which is
Yeah.
like total bullshit if you ask me,
is.
because just people are just used
Sorry.
to the style of combat because we got first was it the first Souls-like game, not Souls-like, the first Demon Souls, right?
Yeah.
That was arguably not arguably, that was actually the first game in that series. So ever since then, people got used to controls, used to that style of combat. So obviously, it's going to be a lot easier if you played, especially if you played all of those games. So I don't know.
Yeah, they have to remove bonfires. We know that much. I don't see them.
Oh yeah,
working,
that
obviously,
wouldn't
in,
work
like, open
because
world.
because Dark Souls games are hub world games basically.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't work in Elden Ring. I don't know.
I just think it'd be cool because like it just be. I think you could definitely make it like even more like because obviously all the enemies have patterns, so like when you play it, it's not super unpredictable. But I think that can definitely make the game a little more like dynamic and unpredictable if you're like in an open world and you can kind of go where you want when you want.
Going to be really interesting, definitely, how they're going to approach the whole design because it's open world compared to hub worlds is like night and day, right? So, but I'm really trusting From Software to do.
Yeah, no, they have
So-
never made a. I've never played like a bad game
They're,
from.
they're extremely good developers. So
And I
we'll
I
see.
think I think the worst Souls game, and I'm not saying this as it's bad, just the worst one is probably Dark Souls 2, but even then it's like still like really
Yeah,
good.
but wasn't the main guy for that was responsible? Was it director or something like that? Left the
Yeah, it might
wasn't
be.
working on Dark Souls 2. I think that's something like it was something like that, right? And yeah, Dark Souls 2, but it's still a pretty solid game if you ask me.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2, but
No, they're
the-
all solid games.
yeah,
Just like that's probably like my least favorite.
just
But
the level design was really linear because I mean
Mhm.
maybe the
it
linear
was,
is
that
not.
made no sense. Like
Yeah,
one moment
It
you're like
wasn't
in a
exciting,
forest, the
to be
next moment
honest.
you're in like a lava area. It's like what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
it felt
yeah.
kind of outdated
Like
because you're just
disjointed.
going forward in the level and that's it.
True, true.
Yeah.
They obviously fixed that later. I mean, when you look at Dark Souls 3, it's like it's
Yeah,
such a
yeah.
big difference. It's like they really nailed it. And then with
Yeah.
Sekiro and now Elden Ring and
Bloodborne is
They
Bloodborne.
really
Bloodborne. I
they
want
really
Bloodborne
need
too, bro.
yeah, Bloodborne 2 would be great, but they
Mm.
really need the one thing that From Software has to improve like drastically is the multiplayer aspect of their games because it's terrible. It's terrible.
Really? You don't like
It lags. No. The concept is fine, right?
Oh,
But
you mean like
the lag is crazy, man.
okay.
You have
Yeah, that
to.
makes sense. All right.
It's like I'm playing World of Warcraft in 2004 with my dial-up connection, basically. So
15 FPS, you like that?
no, the FPS is not the problem. It's the connection basically. It lags. So you have to calculate the lag in order to hit someone.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Mm.
invader, or if you're invading, it has that huge lag spike
Yeah.
with hits. It's not responsive. It makes the game a lot less responsive, which is not what Dark Souls series is known for, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's terrible if you ask me. The concept is great. I love the invading stuff and all of that, but I don't know how the servers work in those games, but it needs to improve. So I don't know if Elden Ring is going to have those aspects. Probably will, right? And I really hope it improves.
Yeah, technicalities ruined it kinda.
I think the part of Elden Ring that's going to be like, I don't want to say transformative in a sense, is like I said, like the fact that you're doing the Dark Souls formula or the Souls formula, but in an open world. That's probably going to be like
Yeah, that's the selling point. That's the
selling point, or the big part of it. So I think so.
Yeah,
That's going to be awesome.
yeah. Matty, will
But I
this
don't
stay
think
on
we're
the
going to see
channel?
it, to be
No.
clear.
I'm hoping for it actually, because that may be the second or third game that I'm kind of really interested into. Like, just see how it's gonna play out, and especially like what we got used to from before. It's like I think it could be something fresh for that open world RPG, because it's gonna have that obviously From
Yeah.
Software vibe to it,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be like open world. So if they pull it off, I think that's gonna be great. But will this stay on the channel? If you mean the stream, yes, the stream and the video will stay on the channel after we are done, so you won't miss anything. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see how they're going to design the whole world and how open it actually is. But judging from that leaked trailer, it's actually really open. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd rather see like official information, to be honest, just because, or an official video, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like low resolution images, but I think
I mean, to be honest, I've been talking about it a lot because, like, all of those leaks and everything today, it kind of, I don't know, it ruins, I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
ruins
it
the
ruins
hype a
the
little bit. Yeah, because before, the only way you could, like, at least here in this region, like, I was finding out about games from magazines. There wasn't 60 channels, and I know I'm the
Yep.
channel which kind of talks a lot about one game and kind of, even before it releases, but I don't know. I don't know. It kind of ruined that
It
mystery around
demystifies
it.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem when it comes to that. I think the MMORPGs have the biggest problems when it comes to that
Mhm.
because of the data mining and stuff.
Mm.
People are able to data mine all the information for the next patch and stuff like that. Just from the game files.
Yeah,
Because
the
I don't know how.
Asmongold
Yeah.
keeps doing that all the time.
And they basically find out the half of the content from the next patch, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that's happening today. I mean, I think they just need to, like, companies need to keep more things under wraps. And like sometimes,
yeah.
leak is sometimes people don't really see that, but sometimes a leak is the marketing plan.
yeah,
Like sometimes
definitely.
it comes from the company.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just me. I look at like a leak, like I guess like I look at it as like, hey, if the leak is not really gonna like serve like the public any information like that's gonna be like help them making like either an informed decision or like for any reason like that, I feel like I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not to say that I won't cover a leak, but I feel like there's got to be some kind of good coming out of it, I guess, is how I think of it. But
Mhm.
I do agree, like, I wish they can kind of like, I don't know. I wish they could kind of like keep that under like lock and key a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, especially like, I mean, to be
Yeah, 'cause-
fair, like going back to Starfield for a second, like, I mean, Bethesda kept that game like under lock and key for like a long time. It's only recently that like it's been getting a lot of leaks. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's we'll see, but I don't know. At least when it comes, because they know, like, going from myself, it's like when you're covering a certain game, like, obviously I don't cover leaks, because especially if it's like data mined or stolen in that sense, like it's been going
for
on
sure.
now with CDPR. There was a lot of leaked stuff regarding Cyberpunk and the next gen version of The Witcher, and people told me like, why don't you cover it? Well, I'm gonna cover it, but don't expect any links from me. Like, not just for
Yeah,
CDPR. That's actually like that goes into like criminal behavior if I start doing
Yeah.
that. Like YouTube can just strike me down. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there's a difference between like, okay, like CD Projekt Red's roadmap leaks like before they're about like for
Yeah.
like their new roadmap leaks and you cover that. I think that's different than like, oh, like someone slips you some information and you're like, all
Yeah,
right, I'm
because
not I
that
don't
that
know
was the
about
thing
that.
before CP, actually before Cyberpunk came out, because the people, like, I think that was the case with Biomutant as well. People got copies before, like,
yeah, it was a total mess when it comes
before
to buying
reviewers.
copies. Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder, and that's the thing. I think I said in the last time we talked about that. Like, I wonder if that's. I don't know if if you can 100% blame that on like THQ because like
Yeah,
that's just like
that's
a lot of
distributors.
vendors and retailers
Mm,
breaking the
yeah,
street
yeah.
date.
yeah.
mm. Yeah, they need to
The
get on top of that, like,
the
fast.
reason why that kind of worries me a bit more than it should be is because THQ is is developing Gothic remake, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if it kind of blows up and that remake gets a lot of attention, and it already did with just a teaser trailer, I just hope they handle that situation a lot better than they did with Biomutant. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Well, well, even so, I don't. I got a review code for Biomutant the day it came out, and I was like, well,
I already
thanks.
bought the game.
I already bought the game. Which honestly, I probably was going to buy it anyway, just to like support the developer.
Yep.
So like, I wasn't gonna just use it as like a free game. I would have bought it anyway, but it was still just like, well, thanks. Like, no, my review is not gonna like they're
And
like giving me all this stuff about like an embargo, like, hey, don't release anything before this time on the 24th. I'm
yeah,
like, it's the release date, bro. Like, none of
and you
this
go on
applies to
Twitter,
me.
and see like thousands of people like left and right. Oh, I got my review early. Like, wait, what? How?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
that's the
not
thing though.
early,
I
not
almost wish
one
I
day
ordered
early.
it. No, I almost wish I ordered the game because then I might have gotten it early and I would have
You
had a
would,
review out,
you would,
right?
you would. That's the thing. You would.
Ugh.
Ah,
That goes
anyway.
back to that. I think that THQ is still kind of not so experienced with huge releases
Mm-hmm.
like Biomutants. I mean, huge. Maybe it was not huge, but it was definitely big.
Well, I will say this, to their credit, they've been like very responsive to like the community about Biomutant. Like I'm talking about like I tweeted at them like on the Biomutant like Twitter page like 2 days after they tweeted something about like a patch, and like they responded to me like the THQ Nordic like their Twitter account responded to me, and like I see them like days of just like them responding to everybody, almost everybody, and I'm like that's really awesome of them,
Mm.
like that they're like taking the time, or at least the person who runs the social media is taking the time to like respond to everybody and like assuage like people's like concerns and like issues. So
Yeah.
I think that's really cool of them, and I wish more companies like did stuff like that.
I just recently found out that some developers who worked on Just Cause games are actually developing Biomutants, which is kind of interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's some of the
I
former
didn't,
developers, right?
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Is that game still? Is that IP still
Was it the
development?
last? The last Just Cause was 4,
Four,
right?
yeah, just goes for, yeah.
That was ages ago.
And yeah, and I read somewhere some rumor about new Just Cause game, but I will say it's just a rumor. So don't know any other information.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of rumors. Isn't it, man? Like,
Yeah, I keep reading stuff on the Reddit, and the Reddit is full of rumors.
yeah, for GTA and stuff, there is insane amount of you. When someone says like the hype was unreal, that's why people leak Cyberpunk. But honestly, every game, like if people get their hands on it, is gonna be leaked. Like maybe yeah, obviously with hype, it's gonna reach more people. You're gonna see it in your feed and whatever. But people will be surprised how many leaks happen daily, and it's like on certain websites and subreddits. It's actually insane. Like I keep looking like, where do you people get this info?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I try to stay far away from basically all leaks
Yeah.
because I don't know. I don't like making, at least when it comes to my content, I don't like covering leaks or anything before the official information. Not just because, I mean, partly because of the slippery slope of copyright and
Yeah,
stuff
of
that can
course.
strike your
Bro,
channel.
the video on my channel that have
Yeah,
over
but
is
Ubisoft,
about
that just shows how
leak.
Ubisoft is actually really cool with content creators, and at
Yeah,
least in my experience.
Yeah, that side
mine
is
too.
great. Yeah, that side
Yeah,
is great.
I think when you cover that stuff, you just have to be very clear with your audience, like in the video, and just say, hey, this could change like as soon as I finish talk like as soon as you watch this video and you hit like
Yeah.
all right, that was a good video, whatever, move on. Like it could be announced like an hour later that none of that was true. So I
Yeah.
always make
Yeah.
sure if I do cover like rumors and stuff, I always say, guys, these are rumors. So official information, like wait for that. This is just like I'm excited about it and I want to talk about it. Like I think I think I'm working on like a video about like all the leaks surrounding like Obsidian's showing for E3. And
Mhm.
it's like one of those things that like I say multiple times at the video, like, hey guys, like could be all like different. It could not be true. Nothing could happen.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
just
know who
telling you
wrote
that.
that, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that so that way you know, like, and I think in my Dragon's Dogma 2 video, I even say, like, listen, the person I'm quoting in this video, I don't know them. I'm just giving you what they said and saying, like, I think it'd be really cool. And if we're
Mhm.
going off of what they say, that we'll see Dragon's Dogma 2 at E3.
Oh my
But
god!
also,
Don't do that to me.
yeah, right. If we're going based off what they say, we'll see it, or not at E3, but we'll see the game soon. But just be aware that like it might not be
Judging
true.
judging by some
Might not
things
happen.
judging by the moves that Capcom was making in recent times with that anime about Dragon's Dog, although people said it was terrible, but still we got Dragon's Dogma anime, and they also are getting ready to shut down the servers for Dragon's Dogma Online. So a lot
Damn.
of moves around that IP in general. So I wouldn't be that
I thought
surprised to see something
I was
about
under the
Dragon's
impression
Dogma.
did they already didn't they already shut it down? The
Maybe they did. I don't know the official schedule for shutting down the servers, but I saw the news for it. I don't know, maybe a month or 2 months ago.
okay.
Yeah. That actually says a very interesting thing. I'm hoping for AA RPG Renaissance games. Yeah, I mean, Renaissance is not really explored that much, and honestly, I agree with that. A lot of like new RPGs, a lot of games don't really go outside of the box. I believe before we had a lot more of those thinking outside of the box, and one game
Isn't
which
the new
attract
game? Sorry for interrupting. Isn't the new game from Gridfall developers in Renaissance?
Oh no, that's steampunk, I
that's
think.
that's one thing, yeah, and that's interesting. You see, steampunk, okay, that's kind of something we don't
It's like
see
called like
every single.
Steel Rising.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's set in Louis 15 era or something like that. I can't remember, but they said they're going to focus more on action
yeah.
than RPG elements, which is
Okay.
kind of sad, but it's going to
Yeah,
be interesting.
yeah. And there is also like, I don't know if you heard the Lies of P, like a Pinocchio game, and it's like Pinocchio is
No.
gonna be this dark dude, and it's like he has a sword and a metallic arm. He's gonna be like some sort of an action RPG. I'm like,
What?
yeah,
What?
they're actually doing like Pinocchio
Like, yeah,
thing.
we all have the same reaction. Like, what?
Yeah, and it looks very interesting, at least like from the CGI stuff. So The Lies of P, that's the name
You're
of the
going to
title.
poke people with your nose or something?
I don't know, but that's kind of a thing, it's not
I
something
think
we see every single day, you know.
I think we misunderstood Dan. I think he said he meant like the renaissance of like a boom in triple and double A games, not like.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's one of the games that's at least thinking outside of the box, and I hope Fable does it as well, because Fable is one of the best series of all time. I'll fight everyone for that.
Except
agree.
Fable 3, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I,
Yeah, the only
Oh,
Fable game I played was the the Lost Chapters,
The
but
first one, yeah.
yeah, the game is really really great.
It was
So
amazing. Yeah.
so I'm really hyped about the new Fable game.
I only played Fable 2.
Wait, what?
I've only played Fable 2. I haven't played Fable 1, to be honest with you.
got it.
Why?
You got
Actually, I'm sorry. I've only played Fable 2 and 3, but 3 was an abomination.
I remember
I-
Angry Joe's video
agree
about
with you.
Fable 3, something like 100 reasons why Fable 3 sucks or something like that. That was an
Yeah,
old
The
video, but I
Fable
still
3
remember.
was
That's the thing. I don't often like I don't try to like be super like aggressively like reactionary when I say I don't like something. But Fable 3, I literally brought it to like my local game store, GameStop, and I literally said to the guy, I said to the guy, I don't care how much you give this for me, you give me for this, like just take it from me. Like I don't want it. That's how bad I did not, that's how much I did not like it. So
One question for LastKnownMeal. So you like Fable, but did you play? I think you did. I think I already asked you this on my stream. Kingdoms of Amalur, because a lot
Yeah.
of people said that Kingdoms of Amalur has a lot of Fable vibes.
Yeah, I still remember actually playing Kingdoms of Amalur. The only thing I also remember is how long that game was.
Oh, it's huge, yeah.
It's like that was probably one of the reasons why I stopped
You-
playing it back then. Cause like I play, and there is no end in sight. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it's
I'm done.
because they planned that the game was supposed to be an MMO actually. So
It's like
that's one of the reasons for that.
just leave the world as is. Like, no, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that.
And funny thing,
Hmm?
sorry.
Yeah, let's continue.
Funny thing about that, THQ now owns all the assets from not only the Kingdoms of Amalur IP, but also the scrapped MMO project. Can't remember the name now, but they
Yeah.
also have all of those assets, and it will be interesting what you're going to do with that, because we all know that they don't buy IPs just for the sake of it. They always do something with them. We
The
have
thing-
a new expansion coming out for Kingdoms of Amalur
Yeah.
as well, so we'll see.
I think most companies probably don't just like it's like when Bethesda bought like the Fallout IP. They didn't buy it just to
And on the shelf,
we
yeah.
like yeah, just to put on the show. Do it even do it once or twice and be like, all right, we're done. No, like they're gonna not. I don't mean milking in the sense like they're gonna milk it, but I don't mean that in like a negative way. Just like they're gonna make games with it. And they're gonna do stuff with it.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot more stuff now from like Bethesda IPs, because now it's like they can just distribute their IPs to like different studios or just allocate more people so they can work on more games. So that's
Yeah.
like because they have to fill the Game Pass, like, and I hope the hyper production actually doesn't ruin it, because that's the problem the film industry TV industry has, and I think it's very much present now in video game industry. It's like hyper production every single year, just print, same game, different setting, same game, different setting, same formula. Yeah.
Well, I
So-
also think we haven't seen Xbox, like we haven't seen Microsoft successfully manage their studios in a really like good way, in the sense of like for example, like I'm not even saying like I love all the PlayStation exclusive games,
Yeah.
but no one would argue that their quality is like their quality is always usually pretty high.
Yeah.
And like Xbox has really good games on it, but there's a lot of them that just kind of like they can't make a game for shit sometimes. You know, like
They got up that.
that's why.
They got up that game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like really. I'm not concerned. That's why I'm really like. I'm really curious if like with all these studios that they have now, if they're going to be able to successfully manage them.
Yeah.
Because it's been said before, if they do like a good enough job, they could have a AAA release like every quarter, pretty much.
That would be insane.
That'd be insane, and it would work for their model with Game Pass, though.
Mhm.
I would say that.
You know what? I forgot to mention the craziest part about Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning when it came out. It actually almost completely bankrupted an entire island. Rhode Island gave like I don't know 75 or 80 million to make the game, and it it didn't it didn't
Wait,
solve
Rhode
at all.
Island, you said?
Yeah, Rhode
Oh
Island.
yeah, okay. So yeah, the state of Rhode Island. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you
the
wouldn't.
States.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that to like correct you. I didn't. You wouldn't know that. Obviously.
Go right
I'm just-
ahead. I don't
No,
know.
I didn't mean it to sound. I just didn't mean it to sound that way. I just
No.
was like, oh, okay. You mean this? You meant the state? Yeah, okay. No
Yeah,
problem.
the States. Sorry,
All right.
but
No
I
problem. No,
know
no,
it
it's
was.
okay. No, you don't have to apologize. I literally was just like confused for a second. I was like, you mean like there's this island called Rhode,
Did I
or
say
like?
island? Oh, okay.
No, it's called Rhode Island.
Rhode
Yeah.
Island, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I said
yeah, I was
the
just making
whole
sure.
island.
Yeah.
But it's really crazy, man, when you think about it. The one game almost entirely bankrupted the state, so which is crazy.
Jeez.
That's funny.
Let's
It's
hope it
like
doesn't
not
happen
sad,
again.
but funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the idea of the whole game and that MMO how to say MMO game was
Yeah.
the brilliant. I really
Yeah.
liked it. I don't know why it didn't succeed.
What MMO game?
Yeah, the MMO. Why they
No, which
switched to
one?
RPG? The Kingdoms of Amalur.
Oh, okay.
It should be the MMO.
I mean, it's
I don't know why
difficult to
they
like
switched.
make an MMO now. To be honest, like Blizzard can pull it off because they have World of Warcraft. But the thing is, like, besides World of Warcraft, before you had like other MMO games, and now they have Final Fantasy. But I didn't really see much progress when it came to like generally MMOs because it's still kind of the same similar
Formula.
thing, yeah, formula, which I think needs more. I think technology aspect to it. I don't know. Like I'm not a developer, obviously. For that,
Yeah,
to be able to
have you seen the ex developers of World of Warcraft making the new MMO game?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, yeah, it has that style. I mean, if they can maybe pull it off because they have that knowledge from Blizzard. But yeah,
I think there's also I think a lot of people, including me, kind of slept on like what the Old Republic, like the Star Wars Old Republic MMO is trying to do, which is also bring like a really good story into like MMO games.
yeah,
So
ESO
I haven't
as
played
well
it.
when it comes
I
to
haven't
the
played
story.
it, but from what I heard, it's like you can totally play that game solo and still have like a really good time with it.
So it's like ESO basically.
Yeah, I guess you'd say that's probably a good comparison. But yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Also,
I-
ESO is doing great actually. Like from the player perspective, they have a lot of people playing it. But I don't know. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to get into it now. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I
it's
tried
like
the
too
game,
many,
so
too many expansions. Like nah.
you need also I feel like you need people to play with
Yeah.
like
in an
regularly.
MMO, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. No,
Not
I
for
just
Blizzard anymore. It's like that. My God, there's just a small like thing about World of Warcraft. Like now, it's like you can just play through the entire game alone, unless you're doing dungeons or you're doing raids and whatever, or maybe go into arena or battlegrounds. But everything else, you don't have to talk to a single
Even
person.
the worst part about that is even when you engage in raids or groups or whatever, yeah, like you said, you don't even feel the need to talk with anyone, right?
yeah,
Because
that's the reason I started to play in TBC Classic.
Yeah,
but
unless it's mythic or something
completely-
like you're doing
yeah.
heavy raids, but anything else, it's like no
Maybe
discussion.
even maybe you not maybe you have to get in a good guild or something like that, and then even then you don't have to communicate that much. But
Yeah.
older expansions were completely different, and I think that's why people are really excited for TBC. And although it's not that it's not a huge hype like classic server was,
No.
But it's all but TBC is basically like just extension of classic WoW. So people like that social aspect of the game the most. I think it's not just about the game in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bro, I'm playing TBC every day, and I'm near 20 levels. So and there is a literally tons of people. They're like 70 and doing dungeons and raids.
Just the boosted. Yeah.
Yeah, people are
Dude,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
the
life mode on
boosting thing
definitely.
sucks so much. Like, because people boost and then they know anything about the game.
Oh
They miss
yeah,
mechanics.
boost.
They mix. Just I don't want to even start.
No, I
It's
think
it's
there.
so bad, man.
Yeah, yeah. But
Is because new players, if you boost, I wouldn't have problems with boosts if you can only boost if you already have one character at level 70, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I want to play another character, right? Another class or
Yeah, I
whatever, and I want to
have
boost.
alternative.
Yeah, but if you but if you can boost your first character and you never played WoW, I
That's
mean it's totally
pointless,
stupid,
bro.
man. Yeah, it's pointless. It will drive people away from the game, which is totally counterproductive. I don't know what Blizzard was thinking, basically.
To take money from boost.
Yeah, just that.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's obviously raids and dungeons are gonna suffer, but yeah, no, it is what it is. Now, for the ending, we can maybe touch on the Kingdom Come from Warhorse. That's a game that I really enjoyed actually. Like when it came out, like I was really happy with Kingdom Come Deliverance and how it played out. I don't know
I
about
I
you
have
guys.
haven't played that game.
I have around
Yeah,
15 hours or something like that, and I'm still trying to make a review about it. Although I stopped because of all the other
Yeah,
projects I had going, but I will definitely continue playing it. And I have a lot to say about it actually. A lot of good stuff, but also some bad stuff
yeah,
actually. So
yeah, absolutely. It had its scuff definitely, but just everything else about the game was really well.
it's
Immersion
unique. It's
side, yeah,
definitely unique and immersive. Yeah.
and the story is so good. Like they did a masterful job when it came to like just the storytelling overall. Because I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I felt like
Yeah.
wow, this is good, actually
It
good.
also has a lot of historic accuracy, right?
Yeah,
It's historically accurate. Maybe not entirely, right? But some
yeah,
parts of
just
it.
60-40, maybe something like 70-30
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
But it works well, and honestly, I would love to see Kingdom Come Deliverance too, because I think they can really expand on everything and just add more stuff. Because I know the people, like for example, they've been asking about blacksmithing. I don't know if it's in the game now, but like long time ago, like the main director said like we tried and it was like just impossible to do it right.
Everything is methodical. Everything from
Yeah.
cooking, from basically everything in the game, you have to take like 3 or 4 steps before you do it. And I
You
kind
need to
of
learn it actually.
yeah, and even reading, you can read stuff before you learn how to read. And some people find it boring, right? And I think that's great because they're actually targeting a specific audience, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and either you love or hate the game, and I think
There is no
that's a
between.
good approach. Well, maybe in some rare cases, right? But I think that's in general a good approach when you're making a game. Okay, I'm going to target this specific audience of players, I guess, and they actually
Yeah.
managed to gather a cult-like following, like some
Mhm.
other similar RPGs, like Gothic series, maybe even a lot bigger according to sales. So that's great.
yeah. I really I kind of I feel like I kind of slept on Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom it's called Kingdom. I always want to say King. I don't know why I always want to say Kingdoms of Amalur, even though
Yeah,
like
I
I
had the
know
same
like I
problem,
know what
man.
we're talking about, but I keep slumming on the Kingdom Come.
A lot of
I,
kingdoms, man.
yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
kingdoms.
I always I slept on it a little bit. Every time I see it on sale, I'm like I should just buy it because like I'm like I should just buy it because like I know I'm gonna like it. It's very. I don't want to say it's rare. I think it's rare that like I buy a game that like looks good to me and I don't at least at the bare minimum like it.
Yeah.
So, but I am always a big advocate for like a studio getting a chance to revisit like their IP that they created, like a Kingdom Come,
I think that the
and
sequel will
being able
definitely
to.
happen.
Yeah, I'm always a big advocate for like, hey, they didn't get it this time, or they didn't get it perfectly in some aspects on this time. Let them come back and do it again, or give them another chance to like give us something else. Because I think, like, I think I said this about like, not to go back to Biomutant, but I said this about Biomutant. If they did a sequel, I'd be all over that because I'm pretty sure if they take a lot of what they learned from this one, it would be a much better game.
And if we take
Mhm.
in consideration that this is the first Warhorse Studio game, I think they did a great job, man. So
Yeah, yeah.
This
So
kickstarted actually like even the budget wasn't huge
yeah,
when you think about it, and they still like really nailed it. So now I really believe like if they nail it, like it's gonna be one of those games that I know I'll play for a very long time because just of that how methodical it is and you know how honestly I need more of those games. I don't like streamlined stuff. I don't like with one click to do everything. It just ruins the immersion for me. So my
yeah.
immersion.
I mean, immersion is really important for me personally as well, and I don't have problems with streamlining in general. But if some mechanics or features in general are convoluted without a reason, right? It's
Obviously,
okay to
obviously,
streamline it a bit,
yeah,
and
obviously a little bit, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I did a whole video just about streamlining in RPGs for, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. And yeah, but there should be some more methodical
you
mechanics
touched on
in
it too, I
RPG.
think, in a video you did about Dragon Age,
Yeah,
about like
yeah.
what the combat will be. You touched on a little bit of like, you know.
Yeah, because people, when they hear
Mhm.
streamlining, they immediately think of dumbing down, and they connect that with Elder Scrolls series, and they start talking about that. That was my experience with that topic, at least, because there was a huge amount of videos about this a few years ago on YouTube when people are basically it was drama basically about streamlining in Elder
Mm.
Scrolls games. I don't know if you guys remember or if you actually follow that, but
I
yeah,
remember when that whole thing started. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
why
Yeah,
the Elder
obviously.
Scrolls is dumbing down, why it's not dumbing down, and people started to talk about this topic for every game basically when it comes to streamlining, and it gained a bad rep. Then at least I believe that was the case.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that it can be methodical, but also at the same time be streamlined to the point where you don't like where it's not scuffed or you don't know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing and the game doesn't do a good job at explaining that, obviously it's a wasted mechanic.
It turns into a hand holding experience basically.
I
Exactly.
think people like confuse streamlining for, oh, we took stuff out of the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
Like,
exactly.
there's a difference between streamlining and like we took stuff out of the game that were otherwise going to be there because we wanted to make it simpler, you
Yeah.
know.
Funny, not funny thing, but interesting thing about streamlining. Interesting thing about that and Dragon's Dogma actually. Notice how? Did you notice how? I mean, you did because you played the game, obviously. But
Yeah.
there is no mana in the game. Everything works
Yeah.
based of stamina, and that's a form of that's a form of good streamlining, in my opinion. They didn't need an extra resource for casting magic or abilities. It all worked off stamina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what RPGs would usually do, they would rely on mana
Yeah.
for spells and abilities. Maybe just for spells, right? But even the mage classes in Sorcerer and Mage in Dragon Age, Dragon's Dogma didn't have
Dragon
mana.
Age, Kingdom Come, you know, we
Yeah,
got so
man,
many. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
so
all
many
mechanics.
games.
Crazy.
It's all have the same titles. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we've been live for 2 hours now, more than 2 hours, and
Oh,
this was
damn.
actually really fun.
Damn,
I,
22 hours more we got to go. Let's go.
yeah, yeah. This is a 24-hour stream, guys. We're just getting started. Now we're gonna start leaking stuff.
Yeah.
Killing,
Elder Scrolls 7, here
don't
we go.
strike me down.
Yeah, this was just introduction.
This is just the introduction. The 2 hour introduction.
Now let's begin.
All right,
the
let's get
podcast.
into it.
So what
Yeah.
you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, overall, I think everyone is kind of like excited, but still holding down. Like, okay, let's keep our expectations low for E3, and we'll see what's gonna happen. It's kicking off.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 will happen definitely.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Any last thoughts for the end, maybe? Something you're excited about? You're playing?
Elex 2. Dragon's Dogma 2. Elex 2 is going to happen really soon. At least some trailer or gameplay, right? I will be really excited to see Dragon's Dogma 2, although I think the chances for that are pretty slim.
Yeah, and I really hope that there will be some new information about the Breath of the Wild, the
Yeah.
sequel.
I don't have any illusions that we're gonna see Dragon's Dogma 2. The only reason I think it could happen in in the alternate universe where it would happen. The only reason I think it could happen is just because I think the director of the other games of the other Dragon's Dogma, the original Dragon's Dogma and like some of the Devil May Cry games, he's been saying for a while that they're working on that he's like his new project is going to be revealed soon. So.
Yeah,
And
and
there's
I'm
also
also excited to see that new game from the creators of the Middle Earth series because I really like the Middle Earth.
Is that
beside
Monolith?
all the oh,
I think it's Monolith, right? That's the name of the studio.
I don't know. I can't remember because I'm really
so.
tired.
I think it's Monolith, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I
they
was
are
curious
working
if
on
that
a
was,
new game, so I hope we will see what it's all about.
Yeah. So everyone, this was a very enjoyable discussion. I hope for the best on E3, and obviously every single one of us here is gonna be covering E3 and the games on it.
I think I might do. It depends on how I'm feeling. I might stream at least one of the events. We'll see.
Yeah, it will be great to stream on the E3 on the day.
At least one of the events I might do.
At least, yeah.
No,
I might cover something. I'm not sure, but because I have a lot of.
I think it's good because every single one of us here is just gonna focus on like different stuff from E3, and it's like something that we like. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I left all the links. These amazing people down below. You can check them out. Check out their videos. Check out their reviews. Especially like I think everyone here covers RPG-ish kind of games, so it's like RPG heaven.
Mostly.
Yeah.
So more RPG game studios. Come on, give us actual RPGs, not games which kind of work as RPGs. I swear to God, they put in character creation and some skills, and it's like boom.
It's an RPG.
It's an RPG. We have an RPG.
Yeah, but bro, there is a lot of indie developers that with some really interesting titles.
Yeah.
Also, we can focus on the big studios.
Yeah,
we must focus on the smaller studios too.
Yeah, well, that's what I often say about indies is that you may not get the necessarily like the AAA kind of like experience or AA, but you'll find something so unique.
Yeah, that's the reason why I really like to cover the
smaller
the team.
games. Yeah,
the smaller games, the Kickstarter games. The Kickstarter is really great platform, and you can find a lot of interesting titles there.
Yeah. The good thing about indie, one of the best things actually about indie studios is they are not afraid to take risks, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, that's
I don't know. The best indie so far I saw is definitely the Outward game. So I really hope that there will be the Outward 2 in the near future.
Yeah.
By the way, I started working on a video about that, so it's soon it will be up.
Yeah,
all right, awesome.
Yeah, that came out of the blue, and it was actually one of the best games in a very long time. Actually, difficult, but very good.
Yeah, we had something really new and unique.
Yeah. That game put my channel on the map, so yeah.
Yeah, that was your golden egg.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So yeah, for the end, when it comes to indie titles, I'll just say this Sorcery. Check it out.
Oh
it's
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
I've been seeing it on Twitter.
You mentioned in the last stream.
Yeah, the more stuff they put, I'm like, okay.
Did you know that one of the God of War developers are actually working on that game?
Oh damn, didn't know that.
Yeah, some animators, I guess.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, there's actually I don't know anyone who has a PlayStation. There's actually a massive indie sale on PlayStation right now. So definitely, if you have a PlayStation, even if it's just a PlayStation 4, check that out.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to send me one.
Yeah, my 16.
PlayStation.
Well, no, even if you have a PlayStation 4, and not even for you guys, just like anyone who's watching. So yeah, I would definitely check that out too. Or Steam always has deals.
I agree. I agree. Support indie titles, guys, because trust me, those people can make something really, really special.
They're the future.
Yeah,
They're the future. Yeah.
and
Some of the
keep
best
in-
games I played have been indie games.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, a lot of those people came from like big studios. Like some of them have like really good skills when it comes to, like, they know what people want. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like now having that creative freedom to do like what they wanted to do for so long, and it's like it brings back that old video game industry feel. It's like we make games because we like games, not because we like money. Like, is it today? Like,
Yeah, that's why like I was looking at that game Bleak Faith because like every single time if you watch like some of their earlier videos to like now, like it just
Night
the
and
game
day,
gets
man.
better
Yeah.
everything it gets better every single time the video comes out.
no, no.
So
I really need to do updates video on that because I covered it when it's like first images and it's like came out. It's
Yeah,
like
back
they
in
nailed it.
2009.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
going like from
Yeah.
the first images, I didn't expect much, but when I saw that, I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
to be honest, yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I was like, okay, I'm hoping to see like improvements, and it has a lot of potential. But I was
Yeah.
actually blown away when I first saw the first major update. It's like
Mm,
it's like
Yeah, I
two
don't know if-
entirely different games, man. And they actually said about the prototype that came out in 2019 that this is basically not even the game, right? This is just the concept for our
Yeah.
game. And I was like, okay, it will improve. And I definitely didn't expect so much improvement. And then the guys are
Yeah.
so skilled and talented. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah, no,
so,
I joined the Discord too and I saw that they shouted out your videos
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
too, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. The last video I did one day ago or something. And by the way, I to throw some shade for tomorrow, I have one video ready for another very similar game, and at least in very similar position like Bleak Fate. It's an indie game, but it looks freaking amazing, man.
So yeah, so basically what I got to do is like once I watch that, then I'll do my video, and then Baldard will do his. We'll just keep
Big
following
the
each other.
idea.
and just
Big the
and just
idea.
it just proves our point about this indie developers, how can they can make some amazing stuff with
Yeah.
if they
So
have
little.
yeah, with so little. Yeah, and just imagine what they can do with some bigger budgets or something.
yeah, yeah, I agree. So this was good. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for coming. We're gonna try to do something. I don't know, maybe post E3. Get our thoughts around what's been happening with what they had shown. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for following. Don't forget to again check out the links for everyone down below for Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to them, and yeah, see you everyone in the next one. And thank you everyone for joining.
See ya, guys.
Guys,
All right, thanks guys.
See ya.